Tom would get mad
if you pushed him in.
Yeah.
Does Tom really get mad? Like there's that playful Tom mad.
That is true. Like if Tom ever got for reals mad, that would be really terrible.
I remember him getting mad at another player in a game that we were playing.
Oh, on the court?
Yeah.
Well, isn't Pat really the red ass of that crew?
He's competitive.
And I say that lovingly.
Yeah. He's competitive.
He is competitive. Jason, have you ever gotten mad out there playing basketball?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry, I have to manually block this guy.
Oh.
No, it's nothing bad. It's that guy with the spam. The guy I was telling you about. It's nothing he said wrong. It's just the one that's always. Not only is he spamming with his green med info, but also now apparently there's something connected where, God, this must be really terrible for his contacts if this is the case. It's going to all contacts because now anything he listens to on TuneIn Radio for the entire weekend, I'm listening to España versus Croatia on TuneIn Radio. I'm listening to Italia versus Albania, bordered by the Adriatic, by the way. Albania is. There's like 17. See, this is all him.
Oh,
I hate doing it, but it's. I've texted him before. I was like, "Hey, can you take us out of the contact thing?" He's like, "Yeah, well, sorry, buddy." So it was good overall.
Yes, overall it was great.
Sure is enjoying the Euros.
Apparently,
yeah.
My goodness, you know who else is enjoying the Euros? The Euros. Dear Lord, it is festive over there. We got a little cross battle because I've got a lot of English followers now, and I quote tweeted a story from the Mirror over there or something. It was like, all of England braces for a 26-degree heat wave. And so you look up what's 26 degrees. It's 78 degrees.
I will say this.
Yeah.
78 over
there.
Well,
you got in my mentions about that.
78 over there is hell.
Look, I get that. Look, I'm not immune to the idea. I always remember when I lived in Minneapolis and went through a winter where you did not see the sun, and I think the high was like 15 for like 3 months, right? And I'll never forget walking across the street on a break from work, and I decided to take off my jacket, and I'm in short sleeves, and then we passed the bank, with the temperature out, the gauge thing, the digital gauge thing that said it was 33 degrees, and it felt like gorgeous. I'm not immune to the fact that if your body is acclimated to one thing, the other thing is like the other thing. What I do not accept is that 78 degrees over there feels worse than 78 degrees here.
78 degrees there feels.
How? I mean, I understand with humidity, that's a thing.
It's that, and like it just feels like the sun is just on top of you, and it's gross.
Can't you touch the sun?
And this, I've talked to Rebecca Lowe because she lives in El Dorado Hills, and I think it was something to it was something that something was going like it was like 80 degrees in London, and she was saying that I'll take 106 in El Dorado over 80 in England.
I get the whole, like we say that about Florida. And by the way, hold on.
Chris, talk to Rebecca.
We're going to get back to that. I got to write that down. I get the whole, like, I'll take 105 in Sacramento over 90 in Florida because I get that. But England isn't Florida. Like, the humidity is not insane. Like,
it's also 78.
There's also no air conditioning anywhere.
Okay, so
there's no ice anywhere.
What one of my buddies over there explained, he goes, look, we're kind of dramatic about it, like, no doubt about it. He said the problem is that in England, like most places outside the city and many in the cities don't have AC at all. And on top of that, like, it is true. Their houses in so many cases, like, I have a house, you have like, hey, there's backyard and there's front yard, and their houses are all like a row of houses, all like with shared walls on both sides. Everyone's connected, and then the houses themselves are designed to retain heat because it's usually cold over there all the time. So the whole thing is like you take the heat from the daytime, and then you have to like build your fire on the hearth or whatever, less. I think they're just a bunch of whiners, but
it sounds like.
But what I know we got a break, but So that was a weird sentence. I was talking to Rebecca Lowe, which, again, if you know who Rebecca Lowe is, NBC host, wife of former Sac Republic coach Paul Buckle, a very lovely person, lives here locally still in El Dorado Hills. But you said, I was talking to Rebecca Lowe, who lives in El Dorado Hills. So the El Dorado Hills thing was just placing her that she's local because you don't live in El Dorado Hills. So that's not why you were talking to Rebecca Lowe.
No, I was at the game.
You were at the Republic match.
Yeah, this is like a couple of years ago.
And you saw Rebecca Lowe there, and we're talking to her about the Heat.
Like just talking
amongst
about,
other things. I guess. Are you sad? Do you have any follow-ups?
What were some of the other things?
About? What were some of the other things you saw?
Soccer.
Any El Dorado Hills talk?
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Town Center. Yeah, what the hell is El Dorado Hills except rich people
Snakes.
In Town Center?
Hills.
Snakes, hills, El Dorados.
Yes.
There's also an El Dorado, isn't there? Is there an El Dorado as a town? And then El Dorado Hills?
Yes.
And El Dorado County?
Yeah, I believe so.
And El Dorado, the City of Gold.
Yeah, an El Dorado movie?
Yeah.
With John Wayne or something?
I was thinking the cartoon.
Oh, okay. Well, we covered a lot.
We did.
Happy Father's Day to all of
Yes.
you. And for those who unfortunately are either not celebrating with their fathers, did not, or had another influence that took the place of a traditional means the same. And hope everybody was able to celebrate and have a good time. We'll take a break. When we come back, a lot happened over the weekend, Jason, in the world of sports.
Yes, it did.
And I think we should talk about it.
Okay,
I think we should talk about it until
we got some time to do it.
How about 10?
Okay.
We'll talk. I think we have enough till 10.
Yeah.
The Mavs and Celtics will play Game 5 tonight. We have a U.S. Open champion, and the Dodgers. They're in trouble. We'll talk about it all with Leading Off next.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sacktown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Let's do it. Leading off the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
And to have a Game 5 in Boston on Monday night. A spectacular, dominant performance from Luka Doncic and the Mavericks.
Yeah, it really was. Thank you, Mike Breen. Over to you. You know what? We're going to put something down here. Charles Barkley. That's right.
It's in there.
Oh, is that in there? I'm sorry. I only read my stuff. No, I did read.
I only read my stuff.
I just check out the last 2 hours when it's your turn. Let me understand the dynamic.
An entire segment.
The whole thing. Yeah, that was interesting, Jason. We were discussing on Friday, will we have a Game 5? And I think you and I both went like, well, I hope so, but I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
There's no reason to think anything would be different. And I got to tell you, I think it's very important in this business, and you and I both know this, we've talked about it many times.
Good at business.
In this business of sports media, too often, the rinse and repeat. And to be honest, there are some incredibly successful people, I won't name names, nationally even, that make an entire living off of throwing hot take after hot dramatic take out there. And when those takes occasionally come to fruition, you highlight those takes. You like play clips of you saying that take and like, and when, without a doubt, 80% of the time they don't come true, you either just roll past it or there's another reason. I think accountability and just giving credit regardless of your narrative. So, for example, my air quote narrative is that Luka Doncic isn't a complete enough player to win a championship at this point in his career. He's Euro James Harden, and he whines, and this is the whole thing we talked about Friday. He whines way too much, doesn't play defense. He's a turnstile. I thought that the game on Friday, to me, was the most impressive game I've ever seen Luka Doncic play. Honest to God. And when you look at the numbers, 29 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. He was 12 of 26. That is like,
he's had better games statistically.
Like, it's probably like maybe not in the top 150 performances statistically when you look at a box score.
Right.
I was so impressed. Look, he ain't Drew Holiday. I was so impressed with his defensive intensity. He had 3 steals on the night, but man, he just the little things, moving his feet, doing everything he could to stay in front of the offensive player, fighting through screens, really engaged. And honestly, I think that's why Luka didn't have 38, 12, and 12. I think he was expending a lot. I think he listened. Whoever talked to him, or he just listened to the whole world. But it got to him. You saw a different that Luka Doncic can win a championship. That Luka Doncic 100% can win a championship. It's just a matter of, will he follow through again tonight? And will the Celtics? I think, they obviously had a poor game too. He's going to need some help. But man, I can't say enough. I really was truly impressed with how he played.
Yeah, he deserves credit. Dallas deserves credit, right? To keep this thing going. It's just now, to me, tonight's the game to say, did they start something and witness something and feel something that's truly different? Or do they just avoid the inevitable? And, Boston had some games to play with. There was a little bit of a combination. It's like, whoa, Boston, like you guys do a clunker every once in a while. When you do, you sure do. But look, Dallas won. They had to win. They looked great. Tonight's kind of the one to see, like, all right, does this just end in 5? Or do we have could something really, really special happen here?
We'll get to. I'm going to see if we can find. Chris, do me a favor. Jason Kidd had some comments out there, and I don't know if there's audio or not because I read them, but he said something to the effect of, like, Boston doesn't have any adjustments. Like, we have adjustments, but Boston doesn't have adjustments. They are who they are, and their setup is their setup. And why would they adjust? They're too good. I don't know the last time the Boston Celtics got beat by, 38 points, but I got to think we got to go back a ways. Certainly not this season. It wasn't just the 38-point win, Jason. The fact that the Mavericks held them to 84 points.
Right.
And also the first time all series, the Mavs were able to jump over 100.
Finally. Now
they go back to Boston. They're down 3-1. Is it going to be a gentleman's sweep? Is Boston going to? Probably. They're favored by 6.5. It's probably what's going to happen. We'll talk about it later, though. It's like, should just switching courts? It's not like baseball where the court's different. It's the same court, it's the same hoop, it's the same 10 feet, it's the same whole thing. Why can't Dallas replicate what they did Friday in Boston? And if they can, like, if that Dallas team shows up that showed up Friday, and that Boston team shows up that showed up Friday, Dallas win the series in 6. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously.
In 6?
Or 7.
Yeah.
No. In 6, because Boston will just split. They'll be like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done.
Okay. I'm not predicting that one, but
no.
We'll see. I'll hold you accountable.
She stands alone over here?
Yeah.
Thanks, partner.
Yeah.
All right. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Down at Pinehurst for a U.S. Open championship. Bryson DeChambeau now has 2. The second at number 2.
Good call on Bryson, by the way.
Good. Yes, thank you. It's just one of those things where his game, that course, and just his game in general, but his game, that course particularly. The bad. Number one, I know that there are rules in place that would have prevented a Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy pairing on the final day, even though it was Matthew Pavon, I think, who got the pairing with Bryson. It's whoever posts the tied score first in the clubhouse gets. They got to look. Let's just come on. Yeah. Everybody wanted Bryson and Rory. That would have been a blast. So that's number one. Again, fine. These are my nitpicks. Number two. Maybe this was on Bryson. I don't know who it was on, but whatever. I know Pavon's new to this, but you know what? Take the putt, Pavon. Let Bryson get the final putt. It's not fair.
Plus the read.
That's what exactly. Yeah. Like, it's not a fair thing to this poor kid. Like, Bryson's celebrating. He did it, and then he's got to shh everyone so Pavon can make a little rinky-dink putt too, and then nobody cares because they're just switch it. Yeah. That should just be an unwritten rule. Just let the champion, if that's the case, take the final putt. Third, look, I'm like, the Olympics are coming up. I'm going to drench myself in an American flag and scream USA all day long. But the whole USA nerds out there, like, come on, really? Like, dude. And it's also kind of funny, too. What you're screaming USA, you're chanting USA at the guy who's playing in Saudi Arabia and taking their money against the guy that moved here and has lived here for the better part of 20 years and who stayed with the American people. But, you know, that aside, the whole U.S., it's like, it's golf, dude. Get out of here. Save that for the Olympics. That's it. Those are my, it was a top 10, if not top 5 clutch shot in the majors. Bryson hit.
For sure.
I feel so bad for Rory. That was a choke. That was a choke. If there ever was a choke, it was 100% a choke. And we're going to talk about choking at 7:30, just choking in sports. Because sometimes
it happens.
I feel bad saying it.
Right.
Because it's not like Rory wanted to. And sometimes it's just timing. You just happen to make the mistake at the worst time.
Yeah.
But that was a choke.
Yeah, and what's weird is obviously Bryson wins. Had it gone the way it was going for a while, I would have felt like Bryson choked.
On the putt? Yeah.
Well, not only that, I mean, he had
You're right.
At one point Saturday, he bogeyed, I think, 18 or 17, but he was up 4 shots.
Yes.
And up 3 going into the last. I mean, that you win the major usually that way.
And the other,
and then he's down 2.
100%. He was down 2 on what, 16, 15?
Maybe it's a little sooner.
Was it sooner than that?
Not much, like 13 or 14. Well, whatever.
It was down 2. and the other thing that's interesting about this, Jason, we'll get into this quite a bit, but the fact that Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy are so popular directly contributed to them finishing where they did in this tournament for the following reason. You could count multiple times, including yesterday, where both of them shanked that ball. Shankopotamus, hookopotamus. And you know what happened? It hit the gallery and saved them God knows what. If those galleries are thinner, if it's you and me out there just playing, those guys are 20, 30 yards left, and they're in jail, and they're laying up. The fact that it was a solid wall of people, it was almost like playing bumpers in bowling, you know, and it actually really had an effect on a lot of these shots they had. So that'll be fun, including, and I don't know how we'll get this across on the TV. In fact, maybe we can test out our thing where we play video. But did you see the golf content that happened on the Golf Channel that was going around after? It's one of the best pieces of sports media content I've ever seen. It just happened to, it was Bryson DeChambeau basically.
He's still got the trophy. He comes out there at night and
right. What do you call it when? It's like photo bombing. It's like video bombing, and then he's part of the deal. Anyways, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to basketball. The Mavs destroyed the Celtics. We've got audio for that, and a weird parallel there as well. We'll do it next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
With T-Mobile, you can save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you'll get a new 5G phone for free.
Pay off via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying planning credit plus tax and $35 connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits or they stop and required finance agreement balances due. See T-Mobile.com.
You're ready for a perfect summer on the lawn, but all these weeds and brown spots are totally killing the vibe. It's time to call True Green. Save some green this summer with our limited time offer. One free application with an annual plan. So all you have to do is water, mow, and enjoy that perfect lawn. Hurry. Offer ends June 18th. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Chris Guerrero in the chat wants everybody to know that America is a continent, not a country. America is, in fact, a country. Turns out America is, in fact, a country. North America's continent. South America's continent. Why isn't Central America a continent? What's going on?
It's part of North America.
Yeah, but then why not just call it North America? We don't have North America. We don't have Eastern North America. It's North America. So what are we doing? If you're not your own continent, then what are we calling you Central America for? If you're North America. Or I'm not saying we should get rid of Central America per se.
You're not saying that?
What I'm saying is
this part of you? There's too many people out there.
Well, there are. What I am saying is Central America should be a continent. We should add that as a continent. Okay. It'd be the smallest continent, I think. Central America smaller than Australia? Yeah, right? By far.
A lot smaller.
Well, it's a ton smaller,
It's
Chris.
still part of North America.
I get it, but we call it Central America. I'm saying we don't have like North, South America.
Like, what would separate Central America from North America as a continent?
Ocean.
Ocean?
A couple of oceans.
on the sides.
I'm just saying, so what? I feel like it's diminishing to Central America. Oh, you're just North America's tail. You're just the bottom, or South America's
scarf.
Scarf.
I don't know.
What would that be? Top hat. Yeah, how Canada's America's hat is Central America, South America's hat. That'd be a weird hat.
Yeah,
it's like one of those sleeping hats,
right? with a little poofy.
It's a tassel.
I believe the right terms of poofy, Jason, not a tassel. Let's grow up. Here's the pass. Kyrie Irving with a layup. And a layup.
Walker's picking up his first. Irving in attack mode. Again, the left hand.
Aha! Derek Lively, my key to the series, finally showing up.
Xavier Tillman in the game. Lively, a corner three. It's good. Derek Lively from downtown.
And they would never lose the lead after that. That was it. The Mavs held the lead all the way to Tim Hardaway Jr.'s three.
Hardaway fires. Connects on a three. The celebration all night long here at the American Airlines Center.
I mean, on one hand, like Mike Breen said, it's going to be a celebration all night long. If Dallas loses tonight, at least they got that. That was their finals.
By the way, what's with the term? I've heard it for years, but who coined the gentleman's sweep? What is that?
That's a great point. I don't know
because it's not a sweep.
No, but like, you're right.
We just can't go with 4-1. It's a gentleman's sweep.
You got to have a name for everything.
Okay.
You got to have a name for. So it's like we swept you,
but we didn't.
It kind of feels like, oh, we let you have one.
Right. Like,
but does it have to be this order, like 3-0, 3-1, 4-1? Because like, what if it's 1-1? Like that's anybody's, or if you won the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like if you won the first one and then lose the next four, that feels like a gentleman's sweep, I guess. I don't even know the term.
I don't even know the term either. Here, a gentleman's sweep in a 7-game series is when a team wins 3 straight games and then loses game 4 on the road. A gentlemanly concession after perhaps resting a star player or two as to not humiliate the other team with a 4-0 sweep in front of their fans, and then wins game 5 at home. Many people, however, believe that any 4-1 series win is a gentleman's sweep. The term is often used in the plural as gentleman's sweep. Now, a backdoor sweep in a 7-game series is when a team loses the first game or first 2 games or even the first 3 games. But then wins 4 straight games.
So we could have a backdoor sweep.
We could absolutely have a backdoor sweep.
But if Dallas wins just another game, it's just a 4-2 or whatever.
100%. And according to Reddit, they credit Twitter user Anthony X.
Reddit with a credit to Anthony X.
That's right. First to coin the term in 2010 with the quote, "Yo, Bulls ain't about to do S word, LOL. We call what's about to happen to them a gentleman's sweep, LOL."
Oh, yeah. Anthony X did it.
Those classic words.
Yes.
Were posted on Twitter by Anthony X, April 24th, 2010.
Okay.
Shout out to Anthony X. Yeah. And somebody should really put that on it. Like, you have 4-7 years ago.
John 3:16.
John 3:16. Give me liberty or give me death. And yo, Bulls ain't about to do S word, LOL. We call what's about to happen to them a gentleman's sweep, LOL.
Anthony X.
Anthony X.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt and a coffee mug. So, hey, look, here we go. Also, Jason, and I don't know what the math is here necessarily because I'm not a fan, as we talked about over the weekend, but weirdly enough, another team that was down 3-0 in a finals for a championship went on the road. In this case, it was the Florida Panthers up 3-0. They're in Canada looking to sweep the series. And the Oilers beat them 8-1. 8-1. So I asked people on Twitter, I said, wow, talk to me about what is 8-1 in NBA terms. Like what is 8-1? And the majority came back with that an 8-1 win in hockey is crazier than like slightly more of a blowout than a 38-point win in the NBA.
I believe that.
I feel like that's right.
Yeah.
Like it's more like a 45 to 50 point win, which you almost that is a 7. Jason, let me do the math. Yep, 7-goal victory for the Oilers, who had scored a grand total of 4 goals in the first 3 games. They scored 8. Do they have a shot, Jason?
Does Anthony X have a quote of hockey?
It's a gentleman's sweep, don't you know? Yeah. Right? No. I don't understand hockey, but I do know this. Again, unlike baseball, the hockey rink is the same in Edmonton as it is in Florida. Do we know where they play in Florida, by the way?
Yeah, the ice melts in Florida.
Yeah, right? Same thing in Boston and Dallas. So it is so strange to me. Like, why does home court mean that much? Or home ice? Like, bro, it's the same teams. Like, Boston is probably going to win tonight, and it's kind of going to piss me off. Because why did they lose so hard on Friday? What is the difference? 38.
Desperate for Dallas, knowing you've got security if you're Boston, which you shouldn't play around with that, but there's just human nature. Like, did Boston have to win that game?
38?
Does it matter if it was 2?
No. I mean, a 38-point win or loss is a 2-point loss.
Yeah.
It's the same. I get it. But I don't know, man. Just stop. I want to know
Would the Kings have done better?
Would the Kings have done better against Dallas on Friday?
Than Boston did.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me the Boston Celtics did worse than just about anybody in the NBA on Friday?
Unless Joe Mazzulla was just like, meh, let's rest up.
Are you suggesting point shaving?
I mean, hey, look, let's put it this way. If you took Dallas in that game, pretty sure you won your bet.
Yeah. Well, you thought of that idea. I mean, like, would Boston rather win it at home? I mean, I'm sure they would rather. I don't think they did that on purpose, but I also know that maybe those attention to details, all the things they were doing so well, certainly didn't seem to be there on Friday.
I hope that I really wish I would love to see Dallas win tonight. Now I kind of want a series. I'd like to see Dallas win. Like if they win a close one tonight, I'm talking about Dallas in Boston. I was like 3-2, and then Boston went back and beat them in Dallas. Yeah,
in Dallas, then they go back there and win.
Like at least I just don't want to see Dallas. It would just be so weird if Dallas won by 38 and then just turned around and got blown out tonight. We're sitting here tomorrow going like, well, that's a combined 60-point turnaround as Boston won by 22 points. But it was 34-21 after 1. And yeah, I think maybe Joe Mazzulla was like, because then you're down 13 after 1. You're down 26 after 2. You're down 32 after 3. They outscored them 27-14 in the second, Jason.
It's over.
It is over. You still had Derek White playing 31 minutes. Drew Holiday played 29. Tatum played 27. Brown played 27. There were a lot of though. When you look over at the Mavericks, what's funny is the Mavs had 2 guys off the bench in Maxi Kleber and Derek Lively that both busted 20 minutes. The only players that were over 20 minutes on the Mavericks that started were Irving and Doncic, both above 30. Gafford, Jones, and P.J. Washington played 10, 17, and 14 minutes combined. Wow. So they really do have a rotational situation. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. And coming up in 3 for Madness, we will talk a little bit more about home court advantage. Why the hell does it mean so much? We'll take a break. When we come back, Safer Out, federally mandated baseball segment. But in this case, well, we've got some news for you. A big blow to a powerhouse. We'll talk about it next.
Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Get ready for the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to make it a summer to remember with incredible deals on select 2024 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles. Kia Vacaville is offering an amazing 1.9% APR for up to 48 months for well-qualified buyers. Or you'll get $1,000 bonus cash on specialty tag 2024 Sportage and Sorrento models. It's the perfect time to upgrade your ride and start your summer adventures. Imagine cruising down the highway in your new Kia from Kia Vacaville, enjoying the advanced features and comfort of the Sportage or Sorrento. Whether you're planning a road trip or just driving around town, these vehicles are designed to elevate your experience. But don't wait too long. These unbeatable deals won't last forever. Your adventure starts now at Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit them today and find the perfect vehicle for your summer plans. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but it's been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento. And I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 76 years. Look for made in America brands like Stanton, Sam Moore, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, baseball time. Dave, Jason, Chris. Question 1.
Mookie Betts broke his hand over the weekend. Safe or out? The Dodgers can't win it all without him.
I think it's safe. I mean, they're really, really talented. And we've seen, like, for example, I know it's not apples to apples, but it's pretty damn close. Like, Atlanta won without Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
It just feels like Mookie Betts is different. Remember we were reading the Athletic player poll the other week, Jason, and one of the questions was like, what player beyond their playing ability would you want to play with most as far as their vibes? And like Mookie Betts was the runaway winner. Like, it's not just the fact that he puts up MVP caliber numbers damn near every year. It's just his vibe he brings. Yeah. And he's not dead. He's not, not able to be around the team.
Right.
But as you've heard from many an athlete, it's not the same when you're not playing every day. You withdraw a little bit. You're not a part of the team. You'll hang out and stuff, but when you're not on the battlefield, you're not on the battlefield. It's just a different thing. I think it's safe. They don't know how long he's going to be out.
Yeah, he doesn't need surgery, which
right,
is good.
Which is great. But man, he's arguably, including Shohei Ohtani, arguably the most important part of that team.
So you mean to tell me the Dodgers are going to have to rely on their other 2 MVPs? in Freeman and Shohei?
What?
How do they do it?
Now there's going to be they didn't win it all, but that's because Mookie Betts.
I think they got a nice lead.
Yeah.
They're going to miss him, certainly. I would say I don't think they could win it all either, but I think they're going to get him back. So that's the good news. But we'll see how far they fall the time that Mookie's out. That's a big injury.
That is a huge injury. All right, number 2, please.
The Astros pulled Ronel Blanco from a no-hitter through 7. Safer out. This is lame.
Safe.
There was 94 pitches. Safe. Like, let's go. I remember back in the day, pitchers would go 126, 134 pitches. You get that no-hitter.
I paid my taxes.
That's right. And you know what? Did their arm fall off? Yes. But you know what? They super glued it back on, and we liked it that way.
Well, they put the arm in Cooperstown.
That's right. The actual arm was in Cooperstown. I understand that everyone's hypersensitive right now, that pitchers' arms are falling off. You know, Blanco is a wonderful young pitcher for them. He's got great stuff. He's a big part of their future. And the franchise was protecting their pitcher over stats and milestones. But, dude, it's baseball. It's entertainment. It's not like he was at 114 pitches. You got to let the guy – if it's a no-hitter situation, you got to juice that up to 120, 130 pitches.
Yeah, it's a special circumstance, right? I mean, if he needs an extra day off, sure. If you have to do all that, why not at least bring him out in the 8th?
Right.
And then go, all right, I mean, in theory, it could be about a 4 or 5 pitch inning. Could be a 20 pitch inning. Then you reevaluate.
Yeah. Give him a chance.
Safe.
And, of course, they gave up a hit the next day.
Right.
2 outs, first inning, he's gone.
He wouldn't have done that.
No,
Safe. Leave him in.
That's why the Astros are going to lose this year.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
for that reason.
And no dusting.
Cut number 3, please, or question 3.
The A's have lost 9 in a row and are 9-31 since May 4th. Safer out. This won't fly in Sacramento.
9-31. Voof, as they say in Europe.
Stinky.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we don't accept losers here.
Yeah. I'll say sout. Say out. So they won't next year. No, next year it's going to be like, hey, baseball. But the year after that, the year after that, the year after that, I do think eventually it will grate on this city. And it's not because we aren't used to rooting for losers. Hey, we're Kings fans.
Hey, we're Kings fans. Of course we watch losing
games. Oh, my God, that would actually be a really good bit to do. But it's not them losing, it's how they lose. And I would just ask Kings fans to remind themselves of, like, imagine an alternate universe where, like, Jason Williams got traded his second year, and then Chris Webber got traded the year of his free agency, and Vladimir Peja had gotten traded 3 years into his career. It's that the A's put together no effort whatsoever to field a winning team, and I think eventually that's going to grate on people. And it won't be the Sacramento A's.
Yeah.
It's just the Athletics.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But when you say grade on people, what does that mean as far as a reflection of attendance?
I think you're going
or just
to
like jokes amongst the community.
I think you're going to see a lot of fans dressed up as empty seats in year 2, and then even more in year 3.
In that small of a park.
No, look, I
think that's a huge advantage as far as, you know.
I'm not saying that the smaller park won't help. It's a really small. It's going to come down to what is the poll in year 2 on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, let's say right now the A's are 9-31 since May 4th, and today in Sacramento they're playing the Rays.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong here.
14,000.
I think that's what your announced attendance will be, and I think about 8,000 will show up.
8,000,
maybe. They can't even when. So
next year, let's just same exercise. Next year,
yes.
I don't even want to say anything about any Kings player, but they're just bad.
Yeah,
just bad. Yeah. It's falling apart.
Right.
Tuesday in March, they're hosting the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there?
except the Kings have been good. The A's have been terrible for a long time.
Also, it's 41 games, not 81. Also,
and by saying the Kings have been good, like we're talking about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
And by the way, I think there will be some empty seats at Golden One in that situation for sure. But not.
It won't be 11,000 people there.
It's also baseball. Like I don't know what we're seeing these issues in Chicago, in St. Louis, obviously in Oakland, Tampa Bay. Like we're seeing these issues. I fully believe there will be a honeymoon phase in Sacramento. We have Major League Baseball here, sort of. Yeah. I do.
Yeah,
technically.
But I think it's going to be shorter than people think. I will reiterate again. I could be wrong. I will reiterate it again. I think this is going to be an unmitigated disaster. I think this is going to be one of the biggest PR flubs ever, and I don't think the A's are going to be here for 4 years. I really don't.
If it's longer, I think that changes.
But I think,
if it's 4 or 3 to 4,
I think they're going to leave her. I think it's going to be so bad that they're going to try to leave early. I think they're going to leave. This is
playing the parking lot somewhere.
Them traveling A's. We'll take a break. When we come back, the U.S. Open, then Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, salty balls. Yeah, I said that, and so much more. We'll explain with the audio next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, kicking off a new work week. It is going to be sunny and a breezy day today with temperatures in the upper 80s for the afternoon. That breeze picks up 10 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up and over 30. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw! Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, it was October 17th, 1974, when the A's at the Coliseum beat the Dodgers 3-2. They won the World Series 4-1 for their third straight title. Coming up later this month on June 23rd, when the A's play the Twins. As the A's say goodbye to the Coliseum this year, the A's will honor members of that 74 team in a pregame ceremony.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7124.
Made a great deal at Maida.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael.
Excruciating decade-long wait and excruciating short misses for McElroy coming down the stretch. Another epic up and down at Pinehurst for a U.S. Open championship. Bryson DeChambeau now has 2, the second at number 2.
The first clip you heard was Rory McIlroy missing that putt on the par 4 16th. The putt was 2 feet 6 inches. It was his first miss from inside 3 feet the entire tournament. Also, his first miss from 3 feet the entire season. He had made the previous 496 putts from inside 3 feet.
How far was 18?
How far was
his putt on 18? Not much farther than
not
3.
much.
I mean, 4 feet.
Yeah.
5 feet.
And it was a tale of two situations. You had Bryson DeChambeau down 2 on the backstretch at one point, made it up quickly, but he was down 2 to Rory McIlroy. And on 18, Bryson basically has to par out, and he hooks it left. And as we talked about earlier, Jason, the gallery helped him so much because that thing should have gone another 15, 20 yards left. It didn't. Still a tough shot.
It's on a tree root.
It was on a tree root. He had to bend down. He had branches on his back and front swing. And he knocks one of the most clutch shots in major history. It was from 55 yards. He hit it to 3 feet, 11 inches. The chances of hitting it inside 4 feet from there was 1.7%. Bryson DeChambeau gets his second major, his second U.S. Open. His first U.S. Open, you may remember, was under COVID conditions. They were showing a clip of him walking up 18 on that Sunday, and it's like, you know, it's like the clapping
like 8 people.
Yeah, just a completely different environment. And all week long, you saw really just this, much like Bryson DeChambeau changed his body from when he came into when he turned pro, and then remember he was a Hulk. He was a Hulk, and then he realized I've got to even it out here, and he changed his body again. Remember when he was flat cap Puma wearing Bryson versus now. You also have kind of seen this personality change with him. And at one point, Bryson DeChambeau, remember, like the whole Brooks Koepka Bryson thing, like Bryson was just a douche. Yeah. That was generally what people thought of him. But he was engaging with the crowd. He's embraced his inner nerd. He acknowledges that he's kind of just this mad scientist, nerdy type of dude. But there's an authenticity, whether real or perceived. There's an authenticity that really resonated with the crowd, especially at the U.S. Open. What a perfect environment for him. Maybe only a Ryder Cup on U.S. soil would be a better environment, Jason. And
he played that up too at the PGA. I mean, he was there to the end with Xander Schauffele, and really was, working the crowd too. And he did that yesterday too. The thing is, there's so many things from this tournament. It was so interesting at the end.
Yes.
Because as we said earlier, like it felt like at one point Bryson was doing the choking in this tournament.
Yes.
Then Rory certainly did. But even until Bryson hits left, hits that tree root shot into the sand. At that moment in the sand, I still thought, at best, we've got a playoff.
That's what I thought too. And they even said on the broadcast, they said he's kind of playing defense.
Yeah. Now. And even at that point, I go, gosh, there's still a chance that he doubles this hole.
That's right.
And Rory can win with all the mistakes he made at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do like, I mean, I never like to see anybody miss opportunities. So both guys did, but Bryson made the shot of the tournament. I mean, that's the shot. Maybe people remember Rory's misses. Rory will never forget it.
No.
But Bryson's shot was incredible. And he still had to make the putt, too. I know when we go, it's an easy putt. Well, those putts weren't easy at the end.
And as gracious and as fun as Bryson was in his win, he was making his rounds, took every picture, signed every autograph, was letting kids touch the trophy. We talked about, and we'll get to that in a second, about the Golf Channel piece post-match. A lot is being made. They showed Rory in kind of a holding room watching. And as soon as Bryson hit the putt, he just kind of quietly gathered his stuff and exited. Now, I don't know if he stuck around to congratulate Bryson. I don't think he did, based on the fact that, and this will be really interesting, the Netflix show Full Swing, their cameras were following Rory to the car. You could see that. So this is all going to be caught at some point. And Rory's getting, this is a tough one. Rory's getting a lot of crap for this. And I get it. Like, everybody can be a good winner. Don't be a sore loser. Where I am really split is I like Rory McIlroy. I like the person he is, and I like the way he represents himself. So there's a bit of a history there. So I'm inclined to forgive that because of previous history. But also, Jason, I think there's a difference between being a sore loser and just being crushed. Being crushed and knowing that you have nothing to say. You don't want to put yourself out there. You don't know if you're going to lose it and start crying. You don't know if you're going to lose it and get angry. You don't know what you're going to say, and you don't want. You're too vulnerable, and you're in too we make all this hay about mental health and how we talk about it, and it's okay. And I'm not trying to equate losing a U.S. Open with a real mental health issue. Let's say.
Right.
But it's really easy for a lot of us to sit here on the sidelines and go, dude, come on. You're a multi-gajillionaire. You just reconciled with your wife. You're one of the most famous athletes in the world. What do you have to be? What do you have? I got to make the mortgage. What do you have? Well, we've never been in his shoes. We've never had to deal with the social media and the regular media and all the stuff. And the fact that, like it or not, the question now is, it's been 10 years. Has Rory McIlroy forgotten how to win the big one? And will he ever win one again? And he knew walking out, he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. By the way, I think there's also a tiny little bit of it somewhere you have to at least acknowledge that Rory McIlroy, along with Tiger Woods, have been the staunchest supporters of the PGA Tour through all of this. Bryson DeChambeau plays for Live Golf and took the money over there. It's probably a little bit of that too. So I'm inclined to forget. I think it was less being a sore loser, Jason, and more he was just crushed.
I agree with that. I think that's it, and I think it's different too. If I believe, based on his track record, that Rory will talk about it. Maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's at his next tournament. And I think his answers today will be better, or tomorrow, than it would have been immediately. Hey, this is one of the worst moments of your life. Talk about it.
Right.
I mean, he fell apart at the end.
He
fell apart. He gave away the tournament.
Yep.
It's happened before. He's not the first golfer, won't be the last. And sometimes you have to talk about it. I think he chose, immediately. A lot of times when you finish your round, you get interviewed right away. I understood the immediacy because he's either going to win,
right,
or he's going to have a tiebreaker, play 2 extra holes, or he's going to lose.
Right.
And then once he lost, I think all the thoughts were, and could there be any part of hey, it's also Bryson's moment?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving him too much of the credit.
I think that is a little too much of the credit, but I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you on that.
Because what if Rory, let's say Rory, which gave the world amazing audio and went nuts.
Yes.
That would deflect from Bryson.
It would.
And right? That would be talked about more. And this is getting talked about a little bit. Look,
sure,
he didn't win. It stinks for him. He didn't win. This is Bryson's moment.
And whereas Rory
he lost last year's U.S. Open, by the way.
Yeah, he's had some rough goes.
1 stroke to Wyndham Clark.
Bryson DeChambeau was asked about it after, and I thought he gave as good an answer as he possibly could.
I know you didn't see his round, but can you empathize with what Rory is feeling right now, coming up 1 shot short and missing out on a major championship?
Yeah. Rory's one of the best to ever play. And being able to fight against a great like that is pretty special. For him to miss that putt, I'd never wished it on anybody. It just happened to play out that way, and he'll win multiple more major championships. There's no doubt, and I think that fire in him is going to continue to grow. And I have nothing but respect for how he plays the game of golf. Because, to be honest, when he was climbing up the leaderboard and he was 2 ahead, I was like, but luckily, things went my way today.
I know you didn't see.
It's a great answer.
Yeah, it is. And you'd said it earlier. It's too bad. I also, part of me wonders how different the tournament would have gone if they were in the final pairing together. I don't know how it would have gone. I don't think it would have been the same way.
Result?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just all the way through. There were so many of the holes from 12 on where the green was near the tee box.
Sure.
And they were kind of waiting for the previous hole. And so you could hear if there was a cheer or a, oh.
Right.
And but now if you're together, you obviously see the immediacy
whole
of oh, wow, Bryson just hit that through that, Bryson couldn't hit a fairway.
God, I would have loved to have seen it, though.
Yeah.
I would have also liked to have seen Montana. Red Humphrey October. No.
Saw it, but
shout out Vasily. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Did Dallas find the secret sauce? And so much more. We'll do it next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Attention talcum powder users. Have you had ovarian or gynecological cancer? A proposed $8 billion plan will pay those who believe they got sick from using talc products like Johnson's baby powder and shower to shower. Johnson & Johnson maintains its products are safe. You have until July 26, 2024 to vote to accept or reject the plan. For more information, visit officialtalclaims.com or call 888-431-4056. Paid for by LLT Management, LLC.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Jason and I would like to make a song request for our next rejoin.
Okay.
Can we rejoin with "In the Mood" by Glenn Miller, please?
Okay, I don't know what that is. So
you
okay.
will when
you will. You will. That's the point. You will 1,000% know what it is, and not only will you know what it is, but like that might be the old timiest song ever.
Yeah, it's in a lot of movies.
It is 100% like evoking like thoughts of like guys and gals in the 20s spinning around and are you bringing it up right now? That is honestly, I think that's it. That is the old timiest song of all time. Glenn Miller. And I had to go to Pat because I didn't know the name of it. I was humming it
as soon
earlier
as you said it, then I knew it. But
you knew it.
I didn't have I knew it was Glenn Miller. No, I didn't know it was Glenn Miller, but once you said the name,
right.
That's it.
That's what, and so I like hummed it to Pat and he's like, "Oh yeah, In the Mood, Glenn Miller." Like, oh, is this a thing? Do people know this? Are you listening to it?
Yeah, I wanted to get it set up. So,
you know exactly
yeah
what we're talking about. All right, 3 for Madness.
Excuse me while I dance.
Question 1, please.
Did Dallas find the secret sauce against Boston?
I mean, honestly, it would be kind of a fun bad to use, too.
Mm-hmm.
what if it's
King's highlights with that bed in the background?
It would just give the segment a whole new thing. Yeah. Anyway, we're having our own fun here. They did Friday. And honestly, I'm not trying to cop out from the question, but I think we'll find out tonight.
Right.
If Dallas were to go into Boston, and they don't have to win by 38, but if they were to go into Boston and the game was generally the same, and they, let's say, had a nice, comfortable double-digit lead, I'm not even trying to be, hyperbole here. Now, all of a sudden, you got to rethink the whole series. And I think the key here, Jason, is this is a replicable performance for Dallas if Luka plays with the same defensive intensity. We said earlier, if you missed it, I thought it was the most impressive game of his career. I really did. And the numbers don't back that up at all. But, man, was I impressed with his commitment to defense and trying to stay in front of his guy. 3 steals on top of it, but that doesn't tell the whole story. If he can play like that again, let me put it this way, if Dallas plays like they did Friday tonight, they're going to win.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah. And I think, going into Friday, I don't think anybody thought Dallas could win the series. I still don't think they can win the series. I think they had a tremendous game. Luka was great. Dallas was great. I think Boston knowing they had some wiggle room here. I feel like it's going to be, the first 3 games, we've never talked about Luka's defense in a positive way at all. So he's had 1.
Right.
I mean, he's been a turnstile. He's been. I don't believe he found something defensive. I think he had a good defensive game. I think Dallas had a great game.
Yes.
I think all along everybody said Boston's better. They've been the better team. none of that changed in my mind. That was a desperate team at home that didn't want to get embarrassed. Instead, they embarrassed Boston. Generally in the playoffs, the team that gets embarrassed comes back the next game and wins.
And I think ultimately you're right. I do believe it ends tonight. I would, if I had to bet, I would say it ends tonight. But
I do.
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, it'd be great. Keep it going.
Keep it going until August.
Sure. Best of 21.
21. Exactly. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Why does home court mean so much?
Why does home court mean so much? I get that, and this is something we got to ask the athletes. You know, I get that you're sleeping in your own bed. You know, your routine. You're getting in the car. You're making your smoothie or whatever. You're driving by the same thing. You're going by the newsstand. You're getting a pack of gum and today's paper, whatever they do. I get that, you know, you've got your own facilities, and then you feed off the crowd. But also, like, the hoop's the same, the court's the same, and there has to be something said, as anybody who's got any form of familial responsibilities know, if you're ever on a trip or something, like a work trip, you come home, you might get a nice night sleeper and nap in, but then it's the honeydew lists. And I understand that in the NBA, like, you know, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving aren't, like, you know, taking out the garbage. Hey, you need to fix the garage. It's a different lifestyle. It's a different tax bracket. But, you know, you're spending time with your kids and your significant other and your friends and family and all that. There's responsibilities there that where you're on the road, you get to focus 100% on your work. So I don't know, but obviously it does.
Yeah, there's something about that, by the way, about being on the road and focusing 100% on your work. Like, again, as a non-player, but if I've traveled with the Kings or Sac State, like, when you're on the road, all you really are thinking about is the game.
That's right.
At that night, like, if you're at home, it's like, oh, I got the game tonight.
Right.
But you might have been, I was out at the park. I went and picked up the laundry, whatever. Had a few friends over. When you're on the road, it's like that's all you're thinking about. But the only sport that's interesting that I ever felt that home court, besides the fans, like, you always want the fans behind you, is baseball, because you generally, the advantage is you have the last at bat.
And you have the last at bat. And it's really the only major sport where you can contour your team's roster around the park.
True.
And
whereas
how it's
football
built.
and basketball, hockey, it's the same.
It's the same.
Now, fans, yes, that's it. But, and that's a big, I don't want to minimize that. That's a big deal. But, man, I don't know. I just felt like of all the sports, baseball is the one that has the true advantage.
Home court doesn't mean anything. Sincerely, the Sacramento Kings. That's from Beeman.
They win more games at home than they lose.
They do. Did they also win more games on the road than they lost to, or no?
Last couple years.
They did. Okay. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
If the Mavs win tonight, does the pressure switch to Boston?
I think it does. I think if the Mavs win tonight in Boston, and also it's going to depend on a little bit on how they win. Like, for example, if the Mavs come in and win by 30 in Boston, oh my God.
Yeah, now it's different.
Everyone's switching their picks. Yeah. Now it's a thing.
Did you happen to see the fight in Boston for the watch money in the arena?
I did, dude. They lose one game and they're turning on each other. There's just Celtic fans fighting everywhere, sunscreens flying all over the place. I think it does, and I think how much that the pressure switches over is going to be directly affected by how much Dallas wins by. Look, if Dallas ekes one out, well, there's a chance, but Boston should, dead. But if they come in and blow them out on the back of a 38-point win, now it's a whole different Donnie.
Yeah, and again, the more games you extend, the more things could possibly happen. I mean, look, Porzingis has been out. Like, you get another key player. Like, things can change, and so right now, Boston's still, I think, in total control. But tonight's the one. Tonight's the one that, like, was Game 4 just a outlier, and the Celtics get it right, and they're ready for a parade. Maybe, but if Dallas wins, I think it does shift.
Just don't do the thing where, like, Dallas blew them out last game, beats them tonight, blows them out again in Game 6, and then it's just like a boring Boston blowout in Game 7. It's like, what have you been doing?
Yeah. And
then we can start the conspiracies.
Yes.
Because remember, Scott Foster, there was a big deal. People were making movie-style posters. The closer.
But he's not reffing tonight.
He's not reffing tonight. Who is it, Tony Brothers?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's Mariano Rivera, the closer, and Trevor Hoffman.
And Rod Beck.
Yeah.
Goose Gossage.
Yes.
Goose Gossage always has a special place in my heart.
Does he?
I remember watching him. One of my earliest World Series memories was the Padres versus Sparky Anderson's Tigers in the World Series. And like the kids that lived across the street from me, Justin, Dallas, Casey, and Tage, there were 4 of them. Their stepdad, Bill, was like from San Diego and a massive Padres fan. He basically had us convinced that like Goose Gossage had killed 7 people with his fastball, and that if you came in and you dared to even swing at a goose pitch, like he had actually left holes in people's bats.
And then it took him deep, Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw that. And we just kind of all turned towards Bill, and they just kind of
What now, Bill?
He was pounding bourbon.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a first.
Did you guys as well?
No, we didn't. But I just had a kid memory. That was the first guy I ever saw smoke weed. Was our neighbor's stepdad
In front of you guys? Wow. Way to go, Bill.
This was like, I think I was like 7, and I'll never forget it. We're over there one time, and he's just rolling up a smoke at the table while talking to us about something. And I was drinking a chocolate milk, if I remember correctly. And
you were, he was.
I was.
Oh, okay.
I was just pounding a chocolate milk with
Yoo-hoo.
one of the kids.
Yoo-hoo.
We're all at the table. It's like a wooden, like picnic style table, sort of weird thing. And he's just rolling up a cigarette, and then he just lights it up. And I noticed he was smoking it differently than it was a different looking cigarette than my dad's.
Yours smells funny, Mr. Thompson.
And it smelled weird.
Yeah.
And me being the inquisitive kid, I remember being
What you got there?
Hey, Mr. Because we call him, don't laugh, we call him Mr. Bill. That's, and
No! Oh, no! Mr. Bill.
And like, Mr. Bill, that sounds, your cigarette smells funnier than my dad's. My dad smelled kind of minty.
Did you know that's not legal in California?
I didn't even know. And because my dad smoked menthols. And he goes, that's because it's weed, son.
I would like to imagine he like takes a pull, holds it for a second, slow smoke out.
Right. It's because it's weed, son. And the funny thing is, as we wrap up the segment, I still didn't understand I thought literally he was smoking weeds.
Yeah. Weeds.
From like the backyard.
Weeds.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, by golly, that's odd. And then went on to go play ColecoVision or something.
It's a lot cheaper than buying it.
Yeah. Why doesn't my dad just do this? I mow the lawn every weekend.
Yeah. Can you make the smoke rings?
No.
You can't?
It pisses me off. My tongue sucks.
Is that what it is?
I think it is. Like I've tried.
How do you do it?
You
can't? You don't have to do the visual.
No, I'm not gonna. It's just it's you're stumbling onto a rabbit hole I don't want to go down because
you've really tried.
I've researched it. Like I've watched videos and I've researched it
and then you've practiced.
I have, and I look like a dying fish when I'm trying to do it. And
you can't do the heart and an arrow.
No, you know what I can do though is like I can do fog. We'll take a break. Just general fog.
Is this San Francisco?
Right, exactly. Whoa. Or whoa, we're at Candlestick? Look at that. I did that. This guy.
Good luck landing a plane over here.
Just kidding. When we come back, choking. Speaking of choking in sports, is it a thing? And why did Rory McIlroy do it? And I think this is an interesting conversation, though, about choking in sports and how we deal with it as a public. We'll be right back after this. Message from my friend, Dr. Jack Friedlander, and my friend, Dr. Joel Bash at UpsizeMatters.com. Hey, speaking of, we've all tried to, sew up our weaknesses from time to time, but sometimes research and YouTube videos aren't enough. Sometimes you need some help. Maybe you aren't blessed, or maybe you just want to be blessed more. Whether it's a tuna can, a thirst buster, or just trying to a Yeti, a Stanley, whatever size or shape you want. Dr. Jack in Roseville, Dr. Joel in San Francisco can help you at UpsizeMatters.com. Hey, listen. Circumference. That's usually right there at number one when it comes to the list of attributes guys and gals look for the most. They can help you. They can at UpsizeMatters.com with a same-day procedure. You can have a free consultation, get the procedure same day. That's how easy it is. Long-lasting and done by actual doctors. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com. Get your girth on. When we come back, choking in sports. No relation to what I just talked about. Just a completely separate segment. Next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but it's been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 76 years. Look for made in America brands like Stanton, Sam Moore, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sale event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Movie tush.
Yeah.
The song comes on. How can you not?
Right.
Do the,
The Windhorst.
I start fingering, just moving around and circle and hands in the air, do the little point up, point down. Yeah. James and Zeebs both say that it slaps.
See?
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Because when what's his name? Not Roger Waters, that's Pink Floyd.
Rabbit?
Who's the guy that
Daltrey?
Glenn Miller.
Oh yeah.
When Pat still just sent me the video. Thanks, Pat. when Glenn Miller drops the beat. Yeah. I'm surprised nobody's done like a
sick beat.
Somebody has to have done like a techno remix
I'm sure.
100%. Oh, I see a Sensitive A's fan, Tim, is in the chat. He did a drive-by on me yesterday. We're coming out of the sushi place. No, actually, everybody else was in the sushi place. I was doing what I tell my kids. I'm going to walk her outside, make sure the car's okay. So I'm over by my car, and then all of a sudden, this car just kind of pulls up and slows down. Mm-hmm. And that's always I'm not going to lie.
Alert.
Oh, always. And I'm always like I saw Boys in the Hood. Okay, I know what a car slows down in front of you. All of a sudden, I'm freaked out a little. I don't know what's about to happen. And it's Tim. Tim, the Sensitive A's fan, who said he's got he's got either a different route or a new route, different job, one of the three or all three. And it's tough for him he still listens, but it's tough for him to get in the chat. And getting the text line like he used to. We used to go back and forth all the time. It's always good natured. Okay. And but said to say hi, and he listens every day. There. Absolutely. Good. It's always good to run into folks out in the wild. As long as I don't owe them money or they like
You're
the
probably
show.
good on that.
I am, hopefully. Let's talk about choking, shall we? Choking in sports. Rory McIlroy missed a putt underneath 3 feet, less than 3 feet. And everyone's saying he choked. Well, of course you are, right? That was a choke. And he did that 2 out of the last 3 holes. How could that not? That is the picture definition of a choke. Okay. Here's my thing, Jason. I get a little. It makes me feel bad. Like as a human sometimes. And I think where I really started to learn, where it really started to make me feel bad, okay, is in the following way. By definition, okay, one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of modern sports was Game 7, 2002 Kings-Lakers. It was a choke. By definition, the Kings choked so hard, like insanely hard, in front of their home crowd. And it wasn't just like they missed a shot at the end. They were 2 of 20 from behind the arc. They made 16 out of their 30 free throw attempts in a game that went to overtime. By definition, it's one of the worst chokes in history. But you know what? I feel gross saying it. Having worked alongside Doug Christie, gotten to know a lot of these guys as human beings, I ain't telling Doug to his face they choked. I don't feel good about that at all. And then that called into question for me all chokes throughout history. Is it when you say choke, it's like this. It's honest to God, Jason. It feels like it's one of the worst things you can do in sports. It's right behind being soft, or quitting. It's like quitting, being soft, choking are like 3 in the Mount Rushmore. What was Rory choking when he got himself to that point? And then it's pressure and your hands are literally shaking and the weight of the world is on you. It just feels weird to me as a sports talk show host or a fan of a sport sitting on the sideline saying you choked.
Right.
When like I'm doing that from my living room eating Cheetos.
Yeah. The way I've always felt as being a fan of sports and a fan of people in general, I root for certain people to win or teams. I prefer someone to make the play. Like, if everything being equal, there were no big missed putts, and the same thing happened yesterday where Bryson hits the shot of the tournament and wins. You're like, Bryson won. He went and got it.
Yep.
Well, I felt like he was going down the road of choking. Rory was going down. I don't like to see, the team won because the kicker missed the extra point or the short field goal to win it. I'd never like that. I'd rather see someone make the play to win it as opposed to
100%.
But I don't know. Look, there's human nature, there's nerves, there's okay, so if you and I are going out, I don't know that we can ever quite recreate the exact feeling that Rory had or even Bryson had on his short missed putt. But we're standing over a putt at Hagen Oaks and it's 3 feet away. And then someone from the side goes, "Hey, Dave, $300,000 on this putt."
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking completely differently. And now it's just, oh, wow. And then you look up and there's 200 people out there watching. Well, that everything is, is elevated. And I know that's what they have to deal with. I know that's part of it. But he'll never, ever, ever forget that. And I don't know why we're wired that way, but we are. Like, the Warriors won 4 titles. It kills them that they lost that 3-1 lead on the 73-win team. It's got to. Right? That was one of their most successful years, but that didn't end with a championship. And all around it, they've got titles everywhere. One of the greatest teams we've ever seen. But that team didn't do it. Like that, I bet that hangs with them.
Has to.
And Rory's got plenty of majors, but he also has the last 2 U.S. Opens losing by 1. That has to eat at him. Has to.
I would also love, let me take it back. I would not love, and I'm picking on Doug just because Doug's our fellow broadcaster, and we know him probably the best. I take it back. I would not love to have this conversation with him by any means, because I love Doug and I respect him so much, and it's got to be a tough topic. I would be incredibly interested in having this conversation with Doug, and just because I know Doug would understand where we're coming from, and we share the pain and all that. It's not from a sensationalist media type of place, but I wonder if Doug considers it Doug, do you think the team choked? Doug, do you think you choked? If it wasn't a choke, do you think that there are chokes in sports? And if so, what's the difference here?
And I don't know this for certain. I feel like, and I could be speaking out of turn here, and you tell me what I'm thinking here if I'm right on. I don't think an athlete would want to use that term. And they may say it this way: "I blew it." Well, semantics, it's
right.
But I don't think they want to say that. And I could be wrong, but I don't know any other way around, around that answer of something that they have done consistently correct. I mean, you gave the stats. Rory didn't miss a putt all year from that distance.
Nope.
And there's more on the line, but he basically missed 2 in the last 4 holes.
I'll go a step further with you. The Sacramento Kings that year as a team shot 76.1% from the free throw line. That game, they shot 53%. Yeah. That year from the free throw line, Shaquille O'Neal, famous from Hack-a-Shaq, shot 55% from the free throw line. Shaq was 11 of 15.
That was one of the hardest parts of that game.
That was one of the hardest parts. By the way, why am I having a blank on this? I mean, I know this. I could replay this entire game in my head, as we all could. Why am I blanking? Why was Peja coming off the bench?
He was hurt. The whole thing. Nobody ever remembers that.
That's right. And
he was hurt in this. He didn't play until game 5.
And he played 25 minutes and was 3 of 12.
That's one thing I always say about that series. And Peja's not Shaq or Kobe.
Right.
But take Rick Fox or Fisher or Ori away. That series is different.
Forgot this stupid hat on him. I'm trying to the series.
Yeah. Hito started that whole series.
Yeah, Hito was. That's right. God, why did I blank on that?
I mean, that's a significant injury. Peja got hurt in the Dallas series with Doug. Doug stayed playing. Peja didn't.
Peja, Bobby Jackson, Doug Christie, and Chris Webber were a combined 0 of 13 from behind the arc in that game. So the reason why I'm bringing up game 7 of 0-2 in this context is because I know what market we're in, and I know we all feel the same about that team and protect that team with our lives. But I think it's important in the we look at a guy like Rory. We don't know Rory. You choked. But I think it's actually a lot harder to apply that to this team. And I'm just trying to illustrate why I think it's an in-depth. I think it's a far more in-depth, nuanced conversation than most people get, where they're just, you're going to see it all day on the Alphabet channel. Rory McIlroy. What? In fact, I haven't seen it yet, but I guarantee you, maybe I just haven't seen it, or it's coming. Did Rory McIlroy's marital issues factor into him missing? Well, okay, but did his marital issues factor into him playing all the rest of the tournament? I don't. Yeah, but we need a reason. That's the thing. If there's one thing about human beings, it's that leaving things unexplained does not work. You must have a reason, even if it's wrong. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll check in on the WNBA over the weekend. Apparently, I don't know if did Angel Reese actually take a baseball bat to Caitlin Clark on the court and then jump on her? I don't know. Seems like it. And Charles Barkley is in the news as well. We'll get to it next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Hey, do you have something from your past that's still hanging on to you, still maybe holding you back from some things professionally or personally? Maybe it was a mistake that you made many, many years ago that's still haunting you, like I said, sticking with you. But how would you like that gone from your record? Well, that's something that can happen, that clean start, if that's something you're looking for. Well, the Gonzalez Law Offices can help you with many things, but they may help you with this exact thing. They do expungements to help you get that fresh start that you were looking for. Jonathan Gonzalez and his law offices are right in the heart of downtown Sacramento, and they want to help you. They want to help people of our community. They're very community-based, and like I said, he's local. He's not turning and burning through cases like a lot of the things, and a lot of people, maybe you don't even know that, but a lot of times they just want quantity, just case after case after case. Well, he is going to, if you have to go to court, he'll go to court with you. If you have to need someone that's representing you, he'll be there for you. He's in our community. He cares about you, cares about his own name, his own brand, and wants things to be in a positive way for you. So the point is, when you want someone that you can trust and someone that's willing to go to bat for you, and whatever the situation you feel you're in need of someone to represent you, I suggest you go to saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. That's saclegaldefense.com, 916-304-9187.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect, whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live
and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The WNBA is becoming a difficult cover. That took long. So it was yesterday morning. I was making breakfast up the mountain there, up the hill, and there's a little TV in the kitchen, and the early U.S. Open coverage was on, right? But then I saw it was Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, because those are the only two players on the floor.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that matter right now.
And you know what I did, Jason? I turned on the WNBA game.
Good for you.
I didn't do it so I could say I did. I didn't do it because there were other people in the room.
Intrigued.
I was legit intrigued.
Okay.
And I watched it, and it was early. It was about second quarter, back and forth. The Fever were up, and then they weren't, and it was a good, solid game. And then I ended up serving breakfast, got distracted, wasn't able to watch the end, and I missed the part where Caitlin Clark's going up for like a layup.
Yeah,
Angel Reese goes to kind of swings her arm to block the shot or not, depending on who you want to listen to. And like her forearmy inside of her elbow, like clips Caitlin. Like it's a clear foul.
She hits her in the head.
Yeah, 100%. And in the NBA, probably also a flagrant. Like there was a wind up and contact, like legit
contact to the head. Yeah.
And there's like a there's this conversation now, and she went on, Angel Reese, afterwards to say, well, there were a lot of fouls not called in our favor, and some people get a special whistle, and there's a history there, obviously, going back to their national champion LSU and Iowa. But it's just it's like, Jason, somebody asked me a question today on Twitter, and this is far from the first time. This guy Nick says, Dave, as a non-WNBA fan, is there truth in this statement? And he's quoting some guy I don't know named Bobby that explains where he works. Who says, look, I'm just reading the quote, by the way, because this is a real, dude, just prep yourself. For those unaware, here's what's going on with Caitlin Clark. She's a straight white woman in a league of mostly bitter black women and a lot of lesbians. The media has told black women for months Clark is popular because she's straight and white. The black women are now bullying, assaulting, and smearing her. And the mostly black basketball media is defending the black mean girls and asking Clark to defend the women attacking her. This guy that works for like a major sports outlet who has, and he's like, any of this true? And like, my whole thing is like, first off, no, but also here's the truth of the matter. You're not supposed to say this in this business. It is 100% a cop out. I am nowhere near qualified, mentally, experiencedly, apparently speaking English, to answer any of that. Like, I can look at the game and be like, oh, well, this happened, that happened. What happens in women's basketball? Maybe slightly, no dunks and stuff like that, but there's differences and blah, blah, blah. I know enough about basketball to talk about. I can't talk about gender issues, homosexuality in sports, racial issues. I don't know. And look, we on this show, probably more than most, we verge in and out of certain topics and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, it's like, what is my buddy who spoke to me, I said like a month ago, who said, I'm really kind of not talking about the WNBA as much as I did, because every time I do, I get killed for it. I don't know enough about it. And everyone was like, well, just tell the guy to do his job. Well, it's not that easy. I'm beginning to see more and more like kind of sidle up to what he said. I'm just going to leave it to the experts.
Well, and if that's a quote unquote expert that has the initial quote,
right.
So let's just walk down the road of the quote.
Sure.
If that is portrayed out there enough, and some people on the periphery don't know and read that, and then you see the play yesterday, that lines up with that, right?
Sure. Maybe.
If you're in that belief.
If you're in that, if you're wearing those glasses.
Yeah, and then you go, well, here's a player.
There it is.
Look at that. She's
black, she's white.
I've never thought of it that way. Doesn't mean that it's not true. I don't believe it is, but I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the league, but I just feel like it's really become its own entity how this is being covered, like as far as Caitlin Clark and the rest of the league.
It's really sad to me.
Yeah, just let her play.
But Jason,
and let the others play.
But here's the inner voice in my head who's like, what I want to instinct. If I was national guy, hot take cannon guy, my whole take would be, this is ridiculous. You're finally getting people to watch this sport. More men historically watch the WNBA than women. That's just an absolute fact. You're opening this up to different eyes and ears. This is your chance. Who cares? Who cares if it's Caitlin Clark or Schmaitlin Schmark or whoever that's coming in here? Who cares? If you're all going to make more money in the long run, just go. You're screwing yourselves with these press conferences. You're screwing yourself with these guys were assaulted outside their hotel. No, it was a paparazzi. That's what happens. You get asked tough questions. Look at the NBA guys. They deal with it all the time. Like, you're just now dealing with this. You sound entitled. You sound spoiled. You sound like the world owes you something on a league that has been struggling. That's going to lose $50 million this year. That most likely does not exist without the NBA. Those are just numbers. That's my instinct.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say instinctively. Then maybe it's just me being older, wiser. I don't know what it is. I go, well, you know what, though? I don't know. Well, what if there is a major racial issue here? Well, what if Caitlin Clark is the big white hope, and you've got a lot of people of color that have struggled throughout this league right now that are seeing this white straight girl get all this attention, and they're feeling a little bit discriminated against? What if there are all these dog whistles coming out, and I don't see their social media, I don't see the letters being sent to them, I don't know what's underneath this. Why is Angel Reese the thug? Why? I've seen Caitlin Clark do some things. I've seen her hook. By the way, there was a play yesterday. They're hooking each other. It's not like Caitlin Clark. It's like Caitlin Clark is this angel with wings, and she's so sweet and nice and all that. And then here comes Angel Reese. Like, I see the dog whistles. I don't know. And you're going to get some people that want a virtue signal, and they're like, no, it's like this. And then you're going to get other people like this dude that I just quoted,
right, that
are like, no, man, this is a race war. It's a war on homosexuality and our values.
Is it? Yeah.
And honestly, I fear, because here's what you and I can agree on. We both legitimately want the WNBA to succeed. We want these ladies to be paid a proper wage in relation to what the league makes. We understand that when leagues grow, they do lose money. There's a deeper context to they're losing $50 million. Well, what they aren't factoring in, of course, is, well, you've got the new private planes. You've got all this investment they're putting in, like infrastructure. Like, sometimes that happens. There's a reason why they're losing more money this year than last year with the addition of Caitlin Clark. It's different. I want them to succeed. I know you do. You have a huge background with the W and with the Monarchs. But this whole thing is kind of shooting itself in the foot. And I guarantee you, it's a chicken and the egg. Sports media will cover things that are popular. And so people say, well, why don't you do more high school sports? Well, because most people don't care about high school sports around here. It's just a fact. Most.
Yeah.
Not you, sir. Not you, ma'am. Most people. Why don't we cover the WNBA all these years? Because most people don't care. They just haven't.
No, we don't have a team in our area.
We don't have a team in our area either. Now they do. Like, embrace it, grow it, because here's what happens. If the national media shuts it off, it's just like, this just isn't worth it. I don't want to get into this. Every time I bring it up, I get bombarded by both sides. It's just not worth it. I'm going to stick to baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're screwed then. You just don't.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and it's incredibly interesting at the same time. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dallas stays alive, forces a Game 5. Also, Charles Barkley in the news. We didn't get to that. We'll get to it next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's the Make This the Summer event, and it's going on now at Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi, everyone. Leonard Harrington here, and I want to tell you how we make your buying experience at Lodi CDJR as easy as possible. You can come in for a visit, or you can do everything online at LodiCDJR.com. Just pick out the make and model you want and scroll through our large in-stock inventory. Next, schedule a test drive at the click of a button. If you want to finance your vehicle, you can start your paperwork online too, saving you plenty of time before you get here. And if you're looking to sell your vehicle or looking to buy, we'll give you an instant cash offer online too. At Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we make it easier than ever to put you into a new vehicle. It's what we do. Online at LodiCDJR.com or in person. We're right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com. Yeah!
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
We were talking a segment ago. By the way, we'll get to the Charles stuff in the next segments. We'll give a whole segment to that. And by next segment, I mean, the next segment, right? Yeah. Okay.
Still.
We were talking about choking, and then we were talking about, how that conversation makes me uncomfortable because would I say that the, Game 7 Kings choked in 0-2? And we were talking about Doug, who's the one we know the most. And how I'd be interested in the conversation, but I wouldn't want to have it with him. And Doug's like the sweetest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But
great guy.
Shut up, Chris. But also like you can tell Doug, Doug's the sweetest guy in the world. At the same time, you never want to make Doug angry.
Yeah.
And
Chris tried.
Chris worked with him for a very long time in the afternoons, and just unearthed this piece of audio. I'd like to entitle "Chris Just Says Things." Chris just says things. Here you go.
I'm going to just do a really fast search. Just pick a year. Let's. What year? 2002? 102 season.
I don't think we want to talk about free throws then.
Oh.
Wow. I hate you right now. God.
All right.
If there was not glass between you, I would just this coffee that you made and it's really hot, I would just splash it. And if I did not have respect for the people who come in here and clean up, I would do it against the window just so you knew I meant business. You suck right now. That was unnecessary.
And Doug's having fun, but also he's not.
Yeah. There's some seriousness behind
There is definitely a little bit of annoyance. And I asked Chris earlier, I was like, Chris, did you at least have like a little dot in your undies when you got home? Because I would have. He's like, nah. Because I filled in, I co-hosted with him a couple times, and I will never forget. We were talking about Sean Kemp for some reason. And there was a time when like Sean Kemp and Doug went at it, and Sean was like coming after him, and Doug was, standing his ground for sure. And, Seattle, Doug, there's a whole background there. And so I just I feel like understandably at the time, I was like, hey man, I know you're in the moment and all that, but like, was there a little voice in your head, in the back of your head that was like, oh God, Sean Kemp. Like, I don't want Sean Kemp. Like, Sean Kemp's scary. He's very, very scary if he was angry at you. Man, Doug lit me up so hard, and I really appreciated it. He was like, no, do you know where I'm from?
Yeah.
Like, don't let the nice guy exterior fool you. Sean needed to be, I'm paraphrasing here, but like, Kemp needed to be afraid of me. Like, no, I ain't, and it was like, I'm watching it. I'm like, God, I love you for this. Like, of course he wasn't. I couldn't understand that. I'm just watching Sean Kemp. Doug's on the floor with him, and Doug's like, no, dude, I will. And I am not here to say who would win in a fight between Doug Christie and Sean Kemp. What I am here to say is that I 100% believe that Doug thinks he would wipe the floor with Sean Kemp. I don't know if he's right or wrong.
Yeah, I think on the surface we all would say, "Oh, Doug won't get involved." Doug will get involved if he has to. Like, if you get to the point where it's like you're pushing my boundaries, my limits, questioning whatever it is. Doug's like, that's not what I'm about. I'll show you what I'm about.
I will show you. And he showed Rick Fox what he was about.
Right.
And he showed what he was about in the tunnel.
Well, and there's something about that, like that wiring where it's like, look, I don't care if I'm 5 feet tall and you're 7 feet tall and way stronger than me. Like, we're going to go. I'm going to hit you. I might lose.
Right.
But we're going.
So
I think that's the way Doug's wired. It's like, yeah, this isn't my plan. This isn't my intention. I'd rather not do this, but we got here and I'm not going to let you do this to me. So here we go.
It's honestly, it kind of does go back to the thing I always say about the great MMA fighters. It's always the nice sweetheart ones that you have to watch out for.
Right.
All the most toughest of tough guys in the history of the UFC, whether it's Anderson Silva or Randy Couture or George St. Pierre, Uriah, they're sweetheart. I say sweethearts on purpose. Like, you wouldn't think to call big, bad, tough MMA guys sweethearts, but Anderson Silva is a sweet man. He is a kind, gentle soul. And then he gets in the octagon and he is the most evil dude on the planet. Like, he will just kill you.
Right.
And then it's not just his demeanor, Jason. If you've ever heard Anderson Silva talk, he has almost a Michael Jackson-esque high pitch to his tone that you wouldn't expect. But so it's like with Doug, it's the same thing. Like, I'm more like, by the way, on another aspect, like Ron Artest, Ron didn't go around telling people how tough he was.
Right.
He would just look. Have you ever seen the clip of Ron and Draymond Green when Draymond like turned on him and then really immediately stopped? Look, Draymond's a tough dude. Don't get me wrong, but Ron will beat you with a 2x4. Like,
Right.
Ron does not screw around.
But also, very sweet guy.
And I say this in the most respectful, kindest way. Ron's a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He's a grown man. Well, by the way, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he had the not the IQ of a 12-year-old, but the mind. He was very playful, very humorous, very self-deprecating, just wanted to hang out and play video games and be silly.
Right.
But my God, but the man had been through horror growing up, as we found out. And, I don't know the horrors or not of what Doug grew up with, but, from what I've heard, it's not like Doug grew up in a McMansion, on the West Side eating bonbons.
Right.
Doug's seen some things. So anyways, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that other than I just have a lot of respect for all these folks. Dallas stays alive, forces a game 5 tonight, Jason. Do you think Boston went into the game thinking they were going to go back to Boston?
I don't think so, but I also think that I would say walking out of the tunnel, the mindsets were different.
Sure.
Dallas is home. Dallas has been embarrassed, down 3 games to none. Luka had been killed for a day and a half.
Yes.
And this is their response. And their response is, we're a good team. We're at home. We're not going to get embarrassed. Oh, by the way, we're going to play great. And then the outcome became, we're crushing Boston. Boston had total control of the series, 1 win away from a parade. Probably would rather have swept just so you're done.
Of course.
But also knowing I
yeah,
I don't have to win tonight. And technically they don't have to win tonight now to game 5. But they can't mess around anymore, I don't think. I think now it's like, look, Dallas was probably gaining some sort of confidence. Boston knew they had some games to play with. And like I said before, when they've had a couple of clunkers in their recent past, and when they do, they are bad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like Miami, Cleveland got them pretty good. Miami got them really good in game 2 of the first round.
Yeah.
They're better than those teams. I still think they're better than Dallas. But they got to prove it again one more time.
Is it you bet and feel different at the blackjack table when you're up 500 than when you're down 500 type of thing?
Yeah.
Where they know they're on house money a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, even to this level, there's some human nature element to it. Like just, I mean, the intensity, the focus that they had. And again, I think when you're a great player like Luka and a team that has had a great year, and you're basically getting crushed in the media for the better part of the last 2 days, they just had to be better, and they were. And that's credit to Dallas.
You make a really good point, by the way. The Boston Celtics have 3 losses in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're ugly, aren't they?
26-point average on those 3 losses. Yeah. And that's with one of those losses being 11. They lost by 24. That game you were referencing against Cleveland, 118-94. The Miami loss was by 10, 111-101, yeah. And then they lost by 38.
They won those series 4-1.
They won.
And all close games against Indiana, but I think they're all close. They won.
They had one 16-point win in game 2. Other than that, they had a 5-point win in OT, a 3-point win, and a 3-point win.
Yeah. I mean, what if I was, if you could redo the series where we are now, if Dallas could have done this in game 3, so
yes.
It's 2-0. This is the first game at home.
Right.
Then I think everybody's going, well, I don't know how this is going to go. But to do it in game 4, look, they still had to do it. It
Yes.
didn't matter if they won by 1 or by as much as they did 38 points. They needed it, but tonight's the game that makes us think, okay, either Dallas is right back in this, or it's just 4-1 and we're done. Boston was a better team all along.
Depending on how tonight goes, we'll know the story. By the way, if it goes like the Miami series, the Cleveland series, I mean, honestly, Indiana's been the most competitive series Boston has had so far, and they swept them.
Right.
True. I still would love to have seen that series if Indiana was completely healthy. Honest to goodness.
Yeah.
They had
missed the last 2.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take a break.
One thought too before the break.
Yeah.
If Boston wins tonight without seeing the game, who's the MVP? And tonight may matter.
I honestly think this is almost like one of them fights that's like they're tied on the cards, the championship round. Like it could be. Look, it's gonna be. I think your contenders right now are. I think Jaylen Brown's in a slight lead.
I would agree. And then Tatum and Holiday.
I was just gonna say that, and maybe not in that order.
Yeah, it could be Holiday, Tatum.
I mean, this could be a sneaky one. This could be an Iguodala type year where Holiday sneaks in. But if they clinch tonight and Tatum goes for 44,
that's the last one we've seen, and it's like, yeah, let's give it to him. Yeah,
give it to him. I completely agree. All right, we'll take a break. It's a great question. That is weird. How about Joe Mazzulla? Make him the MVP. When we come back, news from Friday. Charles Barkley. Are we in the final year of seeing him on a microphone? Oh, we'll discuss it and play the audio for you next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand clutch. Makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Well, that was awkward. Ran into Tom Maley, our sister station, Pat, Tom, Cody. Cody's getting her award this week in New York, getting her Gracie. And then we'll go from New York.
She's getting your dog?
I know, exactly, which is hilarious. I have a Gracie the year she wins a Gracie. Then she's going to go to Nashville, meet up with Tom, and Pat and Tom are getting elected or been elected to the Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame, which is super cool. So I run into Tom, and have you seen him today?
No.
He is wearing like a bright green, silky golf shirt looking thing with leprechauns. And I see him and I say, I go, God, that is maybe the worst shirt I've seen in my entire life. What are you doing? And he's like, dude, it's a Father's Day present. And then I didn't know what else to say. So I was like, they're playing a joke on you.
I could see Tom's kids doing that.
I 100% could.
He'll never wear it.
He'll never. No, he wore it. This is a guy that has a very hairy chest and literally has a tattoo of a dude mowing his chest on his chest.
Yeah. With an Italian flag.
Yeah, right. Which, and it's supposed to be Irish, right? Yeah. All right. Well, Charles Barkley was making news over the weekend. Let's just listen to what he says here.
I've been thinking, guys, I want to say this because you guys are my family. I really love TNT, all the people who work here, NBA television. You guys been great to me for 24 years. And I just want to say thank you to my entire NBA family. I love you guys. You know, there's been a lot of noise around our network the last few months. And I just want to say, I've talked to all the other networks, but I ain't going nowhere other than TNT. But I have made the decision myself, no matter what happens, next year is going to be my last year on television. And I just want to say thank you to my NBA family. You guys been great to me. My heart is full with joy and gratitude. But I'm going to pass the baton at the end of next year. I hope the NBA stays with TNT. But for me personally, I wanted you guys to hear from me because I'm not doing any more interviews. Don't y'all be calling me. Nobody calling me. I'm not talking about this again, but I want to tell my NBA and NBA TV and TNT family that I'm not going to another network, but I'm going to pass the baton to either Jamal Crawford or Vince Carter or you, Steve. But next year, I'm going to just retire after 25 years, and I just want to say thank you, and I wanted y'all to hear from me first.
Okay, so a couple things here. I mean, we'll get into the obvious stuff. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. Didn't Charles Barkley announce his retirement like 4 years ago? He said he was going to retire at 60.
Oh, there's something about that. I don't remember.
Why am I believing he said I'm going to retire at 60? This is like 3 years ago. He did. There was a whole thing. Okay. Why are we forgetting this? And then
now you're not buying this one?
Well, I'm buying it in the sense that it's more about they're going away from TNT. Because if I remember correctly, either right before or right after Charles said he didn't want to really work past 60, that's when they signed Draymond Green as his heir apparent.
Yeah.
Draymond's not just guesting on the show. Draymond's a Turner employee in the offseason when they're done. And they're kind of grooming him to take Charles's spot. That being said, like Charles said, I'm going to pass the torch to you, or you. No, because what torch? Your torch is going out at the end of next year at TNT. Now, I could see, for example, Charles wouldn't pass the torch to Jamal Crawford or Vince Carter, first off. Kenny would pass the torch to Vince Carter or Jamal Crawford. Those guys I would see as a Kenny replacement. To replace Charles Barkley, I think there's very few, if any, guys qualified. Yeah. First off, there is no replacing Charles Barkley, full stop. But it would be a Draymond Green type. You need a guy who was a tough guy back in the day, who has a softer side, who can break everything down, but is going to say the thing nobody else does. The problem is what we've seen so far is Charles will say what's on his mind. So will Draymond, but half of Draymond's stuff feels like it's got an agenda behind it and he's settling scores.
Yeah, it's a little weird because he's still playing, right?
Right.
So when he's clowning like Gobert and his defense, you're like, okay, I know there's some Defensive Player of the Year awards that he won that you wanted. It's like, you're not out of the league yet, so it still feels a little weird. And I think the beauty of Charles is he's got the resume. He can talk about the sport, but they do such a good job of making fun of him, and he takes that well. And I think that takes a special person. And I don't know, he's an easy punching bag, and the TNT does a great job of the graphics and things, and he handles it. Or when he fights back, he does it in a playful enough, likable way.
Right.
So that's a tough thing to replace.
I feel like Draymond would actually be more of a replacement for Shaq, because Shaq's kind of petty.
Yeah.
Like, unlike Charles, Shaq says some things sometimes, like the whole, remember when Jokic won the NBA? He's like, I wouldn't have given it to you. It's like, well, great. Thanks for the moment, Shaq. But that's also who he is.
Yeah.
There isn't a replacement Charles Barkley.
Right.
But if that's all going away, then that's all going away. That being said, I can't imagine. There's no way in hell Charles Barkley is fading into the ether. He's got talk shows and game shows, and they're going to find a way to. Charles Barkley could, like I say, he could be a game show host. He could be I love his. Did he do a CNN thing? It was like Tough Conversations or something.
Yeah,
for a while.
Doesn't he have one still with
Gayle King?
Yeah, and he's done some, even those golf challenges. He's been a commentator on, and
I want to see him do like a thing with Bear Grylls. Put him on the Marshawn Lynch tour. I'm doing all the cool stuff Marshawn was doing.
Yeah,
have Charles do it.
But that show, I just it does sound like next year will be the last year, at least the way we know it. I'm really going to enjoy it. I feel like others have tried to copy it. You just can't. I don't know why. It's just been one of the great chemistry mixes of all time.
I got a question for you. And I want, maybe your answer's top of mind, but I just want you to take a beat, because I've really been struggling with this question over the last few weeks. Just for fun. It's just a fun question. Despite what we normally say instinctively off the top of our heads about Ernie Johnson, is Ernie more important to that show than Charles? Is Ernie Johnson more replaceable than Charles Barkley?
Gosh, that's really tough.
I feel like they need
all of the parts.
I agree with you.
I would say that the pillars are Ernie, and Charles.
Yeah.
And then even Kenny Smith. I would say Kenny Smith too. And then you could play around with the other guys in the studio.
Yeah.
I think Shaq is imminently the most replaceable. I think Kenny is the third most replaceable, and I love Kenny. He is part of the 3-man Mount Rushmore. But if we're making hard decisions here, I think Kenny is the least unique. He's more of a traditional analyst. He's fantastic. This is no disrespect to Kenny Smith. I'm just saying between Ernie, Charles, and Kenny Smith, I think Kenny would go number 3. I'm really struggling with 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've done shows where Charles has been gone. You're like, and shows where Ernie's gone. You're like, it's not the same. Either one is not the same.
You're exactly right.
And Kenny could be there, and Shaq could be there, in a nice fill-in for Ernie. And you're like, yeah, it's not the same. Or someone else for Chuck, and you're like, yeah, it's not quite the same.
Well, I'm going to switch it around. I'm going to put this in a different format then. Because I think along with you, because we are so biased towards great broadcasters, I've always said Ernie is the glue. Ernie is the alpha and the omega of that show, which, by the way, I think are true. Jason Ross, as we go to break, I'd like to offer a heartfelt congratulations to you. You have just been named the president of NBC Sports. We're going to miss you around here, but you're getting paid millions of dollars. Your first job, you have the number 1 pick in the NBA studio show draft. And by the way, oh my God, breaking news. Both Ernie Johnson and Charles Barkley have actually put their names in the draft. And they've both said they will work a minimum of 5 years. You can't pick both. Someone else will get one. Who is your first pick in the NBA studio show draft between number 1 prospect Ernie Johnson and co-number 1 prospect Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I think you're right, though.
That's what I would do.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, it's not going to be the same, and nobody's as good as Ernie Johnson. But I think it just comes like if you're breaking them down like athletes, it's like a tie, and then it comes down to who is more, not most, more replaceable.
Yeah, and also, look, if it's television, which is what you're talking about, it's eyeballs and people that I just think immediately the name, not that Ernie doesn't have the name, but sure. Charles has. I think you won right there, that conversation. You got the guy who said he was going to retire.
Yeah.
You convinced him to come to your network.
Sure.
And no matter who he's with, you got Charles Barkley. I think you won there. It's close, but I think that's the
put that out as a Twitter poll. Do you think people get mad at that Twitter poll?
No.
Yeah. People get mad at the weirdest stuff these days. I've been wrestling with that for like a week, just like breaking it down in my head. I'm glad I'm not the president of NBC like you.
But I think he's fiercely loyal. Both of them are.
They are. And I like that. It'll never be anything like them. We'll take a break. When we come back, the difference in the finishes between Bryson and Rory. And let's talk about not just the past and present, but also their future as well next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
price guys, Bell Brothers.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and our thrilling high-limit room with Sky River rewards that add up and up, and 18 elevated restaurants and bars. There's something for everyone. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Family. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Raise your hand if you knew. No, not yet. That in the San Diego area every year, there's a bar crawl called the Roper Romp, where a large group of people, both men and women, go on a bar crawl dressed as Mrs. Roper from Three's Company.
Classic.
I'm 100%.
Why not Mr. Roper?
I don't know.
Or Mr. Furley. Did they go to the Regal Beagle?
They absolutely have. How is there not a Regal Beagle, by the way?
I don't know. There should be.
Also, that's an interesting. We were just talking about Ernie or Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Team Roper or Team Furley?
I think Roper.
I wish I could take like Mrs. Roper and Mr. Furley and combine them. Not like into one person, but I'm saying like if they...
You didn't like Mr. Roper?
I did like Mr. Roper.
You look at the camera.
But I was like Mr. Come on. Don Knotts.
I know.
Early poll out right now, by the way. We'll update you on the results as the show moves on. But Jason, the question was you got to pick one. And who do you pick? Between Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson. So far, just 50 votes in, but 57%. Take Charles Barkley.
Okay.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
That's tough. From the 209, damn it, Dave, don't be giving Kenny any props. That Sacramento hating fake television guy.
Yeah.
No one is still bitter about Kenny during relocation. Nobody at all. All right. Bryson DeChambeau had one of the greatest shots in the history of majors golf. The ultimate under pressure shot out of the bunker, 55 yards to just a couple of feet. Rory McIlroy missed 2 short putts in 2 of his final 3 holes after having a 2-shot lead on the second 9. Rory McIlroy is a choker. Bryson DeChambeau is is big enough for the moment. That's what they are saying right now, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Bryson DeChambeau gets his second U.S. Open. Rory extends his streak. Had he won yesterday, that would have been the longest streak in between majors in golf history. And now he has to continue.
Yeah, he's still sitting at 4.
He is still sitting at 4. By the way, I think he's going to win the Open. I think he's going to win the Open. It's going to be maybe the best story of the summer. I think he's going to go to Europe and he's going to win the Open. Do I hope that's the case also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for his own
Is
sake.
Yeah, because honestly, what's great about golf is that, you know what we're not talking about today? How the world number one just completely flamed out.
Right.
I mean, he made the cut.
Yeah,
we were talking about
the number adjusted.
We talked about the number being adjusted to 4.
Yeah.
It was adjusted to 5.
Yeah.
He made the cut. I remember, I forget who the announcer was coming down the stretch, but he said the funny thing is that Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy probably have the 2 most rabid fan bases in golf right now, and they're both in contention.
Yeah.
I don't know. The second and third.
Right.
Tiger's still Tiger.
Right.
Like, sorry, Tiger's still Tiger, and that would have been a bigger deal.
Yeah.
But this was fantastic. The problem, Jason, if there is a problem, is that, Bryson DeChambeau, for some stupid reason, is not on the Olympic team. I mean, I know why, but he's not, despite the fact that he's done better in majors cumulatively this year than anyone else, including Scotty Scheffler. And we're not going to see Bryson again until the Open.
Mm-hmm.
And then we won't see him again.
Right.
I'm not here to judge live golf. That's a whole different topic, and I certainly have judged it one way or the other. But here is a fact. Bryson DeChambeau will appear in the Open, and then he will be relatively anonymous the rest. We'll read about him. We'll hear about him. Nobody's tuning into the CW.com to watch Bryson DeChambeau at 4:30 in the morning tee off in Dubai.
Yeah, as a golf fan, I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't watch live golf. I don't know why. I just haven't.
Not into it. I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea. The shorts and the music and the blah, not my thing. But that has become an intensely political conversation now for all, whether it's the Saudi thing, the Trump thing. It's just so intertwined, and there's this weird Venn diagram with like live golf and the right and Teslas and crypto, and it's just it's strength. And by the way, I'm not judging. I'm not here saying that's bad. I'm just saying everyone's gone tribal on this stuff, and ultimately, I just want to see all the golfers playing under the same banner. I want to see Bryson and Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy and Dustin Johnson all going at it with Scotty Scheffler. And everybody kind of goes back to their own corners until the majors, and there's one more major left this year, and that's the Open. So I don't know what the future holds, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't think, one of the questions you're asking here is, was this Rory's best chance at another major? I mean, it's hard to get a better chance than being up 2 on the second 9.
Yeah, the back 9 of a major up 2. I mean, Rory's going to feel like this was like whether we defined it or not, but he let one get away. There's no other way he's going to feel about this. He felt that way, dodged the media, I'm sure was crushed. He's finished in the top 10 in many majors. He's had so many chances, but this was his best chance. I mean, it was really right there for him, and he's going to be replaying some of his mistakes down the end to forever in his head. He just will. Because you can play well in a tournament and at a major and just not have chances. He had his chances. He was trailing by 3 strokes to start the day and had a 2-stroke lead on the back 9.
Yep.
He caught him, passed him, and then couldn't close the deal, even all the way to the end, even with mistakes all the way. If he just made the putt on 18, he's in a playoff. Even with Bryson's heroics. And maybe Bryson's different, knowing that if Rory had parred, like Bryson had some wiggle room, but he still was aggressive and had the shot of the tournament. But you just don't know how those things play out if Rory makes that putt.
You're 100% right. And it's just funny. I don't know why. I always go back, Jason. I've brought this up 100,000 times. I always go back to the point you made years ago about Marcus Smart's shot that hung on the rim against the Kings and went out, and we were all celebrating the Kings that Monday. And you saying a millimeter to the left, and we're all talking about how the Kings blew the game and how different it's the same thing. Like Bryson doesn't make that shot, Rory makes that putt.
Yeah.
Rory.
Finally did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Is Bryson playing in the Live Golf Tour worth and was he not prepared for the pressure?
And he would have had 2 straight final or Grand Slams, majors, I should say, losing by 1 stroke. He lost to Schauffele by a stroke. And, and he would have had a 3-stroke lead going into, then we'd have been talking about Bryson not being able to close.
And I see it in the text. And look, I never want to shy away from this stuff, so that's fine. Look, getting into the whole Live Golf versus PGA thing that's like not even a different segment. That's like a whole different podcast. I love Zebra and I love a lot of. I'm not just calling her out. I'm just saying Zebes and William. They're saying, hey, you can't accept the Live thing. And look what happened to the Journal. Look what happened here. And look, I hear you. It's more, to me, it's more nuanced. I'm a PGA guy. I'm not a fan of Saudi-backed investment in sports for many reasons, not just politically, but also anyone. Like if Greece was doing it, I'd be like, dude, like I'm not a huge fan of country-based funds being a huge, I don't want any entities having an overarching financial stake in sports, but we also live in a world. And this is why it gets weird. Look, you play any video games by Activision, EA, Take-Two? You ever ride an Uber? You use Twitter at all? You ever have a Zoom meeting? You ever see anything through Live Nation? You drink coffee at Starbucks? You use anything from Microsoft? Go on a Carnival cruise? Shop at Costco? Look up what the Public Investment Fund in Saudi Arabia has massive investments in. And let's just be a little bit careful when we make it black and white on this type of stuff. When, let's just be real, there's a lot of intertwining. When we start getting into, I'm not going to participate in anything because the money comes from a certain place.
Sure.
That is a real complicated slope. Again, I know where I stand. I know you and I pretty much stand in the same place, but I also think it's important to look at the whole Donahue there. And in this case, I just think it's sad for golf. I think it's sad for golf and sad for a lot of things. Like, figure it out, get back on board, do your thing.
Yeah, because all the best players aren't together.
We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and let's go streaking. We'll do all that right after this.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
It's the ride everybody wants to be driving, and Elk Grove Kia has them in stock right now. I'm talking about the 2024 Kia Telluride. And my friends at Elk Grove Kia can get you behind the wheel of a 2024 Telluride SX for only $419 a month, plus taxes and fees. Whenever I see one of these driving down the road or next to me at a red light, I just stop and admire it because the Kia Telluride just looks iconic. And not only is the Kia Telluride beautiful, it's got room for the whole family. There's a seating capacity for up to 7 passengers. Plus, it's loaded with tech. So is the 2024 Kia Telluride the right ride for you and your family? Come on down to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Give it a test drive. And just a heads up, when you're here at Elk Grove Kia, you're going to be treated very well. You're not going to get this kind of car buying experience in Roseville, Vacaville, Sacramento, or Davis. That's why Elk Grove Kia has so many 5-star reviews. Again, check them out in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online, elkgrovekia.com. 24-month lease, $0 security deposit, 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year, $4,999 due at signing based on approval of credit. VIN number 501850, ends June 30th, 2024.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Ooh, it's hot.
Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah.
In Game 4, they combined for 50 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds, and the Mavericks 122-84 win over the Boston Celtics to force a Game 5 tonight in Boston.
Hey, now. I'm watching.
It's hot. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. When is you know what? I'm weirdly like, okay. When I say I'm into it, I mean, unlike normally when I couldn't tell you anything about it at all, now I could name one player and I watched 5 minutes of it, but I'm going to watch as much as I can of Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Are you?
The finals, I mean.
Okay.
I find myself now weirdly like, let's go, Oilers. I mean, I was rooting for them to be. I just want Canada to win one.
You want the Oilers?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Does that make me unpatriotic that I want Canada to beat the U.S. team? But it's like that's hockey is Canada. And
is it anymore?
No,
93.
Well, not
how many
anymore.
Canadians play for the Panthers?
Huh? Right, exactly. Well, or since 2011, according to Chris. But whichever way you look at it, it's been a long time. And the Oilers, that's like Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier and all those guys.
They're not on the team.
No, but there's like
better Oilers, Edmonton or Houston? Houston's uniforms were great.
Only one exists anymore, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably didn't like the Houston Oilers uniforms, baby blue.
Didn't. Okay, I will say this, though. Of all the baby blue uniforms in existence, I would say probably North Carolina and Houston are the most tolerable. Every other baby blue uniform team ever in college, at least, terrible. Horrible. The worst. What? I don't know. Okay. Who's not?
The Boston Celtics starting 5. They were outscored by Luka and Kyrie 50-44. They can in Game 4. They shot 14 of 31 from the field for 34% and were 7 of 23 from 3.
That's not hot.
Not hot at all, Boston. Get it together.
Yeah, Boston, figure it out.
Yeah.
Like a Boston. I was trying to do something with Boston Tea Party, and there's nothing there. Boston. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. Keep workshopping it.
Mavericks are coming.
The Mavericks are coming.
The Mavericks are coming. The Mavericks are coming.
Let's go to streaking, please.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking.
We are. Well, one of us is.
Just one.
Jason, you and I are a couple of oohs.
Yeah. We're at 0. Chris, though, at 9.
At 9.
Gotta keep our eye on him to see if he gets the show record.
Probably get 9 more in this streak.
See if he gets to 16. break the show record. So, Dave, at 0, you said I'm going to go with Luis Arias.
Luis
From the
Arias,
San Diego
who
Padres.
I don't think has ever gotten me a hit, but since nobody's getting me a hit, I'm just going to do the opposite.
Well, I should let you know on Friday.
Yeah.
The Padres got just 5 hits.
Yep.
Luis Arias got up 4 times.
Got one of them. Guarantee it.
He did not. He got 2 of them.
Did he get to him? Of course he did. Of course
Dave's
he
at one.
did. Yay.
Yeah.
Screw you, Luis, and screw you, Aaron Judge.
All right. I was at 0. My streak was finally broken. So I started hopefully anew with Jose Ramirez at the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians had 9 hits. My guy got up 4 times.
Did he?
My guy got 0 hits.
Man, welcome to the club. We got
Yes.
jackets and everything. We're terrible.
So you're now leading me 1-0.
Yes, domination.
But the show leader is Chris at 9, trying to get the double digits. He took Jeremy Pena from the Houston Astros.
Oh,
the Astros got 6 hits.
Is Jeremy smoking?
He got up 3 times.
Yeah, to
And
go to
he
double
got
digits.
0
No,
hits.
no.
You suck.
No.
Dave is the leader now.
Let's go. Wow.
How does it feel to have a huge lead of 1-0-0 over Chris and I?
What's up, losers? Ha ha.
Chris, it was a good run.
Everybody who's currently on a streak, take one step forward. Not so fast, Chris and Jason. Just,
Feeling pretty good?
Just follow my lead.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
All right.
Give me Aaron Judge because I'm staying on the thing with the deal. Are they even playing today?
I don't think they are.
Whatever. Of course.
Let me double check.
Aaron,
There's less games today.
You lazy butt.
Yeah, he's not playing.
He is not playing. I knew that. Fine. Paul Skeens is going though. Ooh, Paul Skeens for the Pirates and 26-year-old Carson Spears for the Reds.
Is that a real guy?
That's a 2.33 ERA for Carson versus a 2.43 for Paul.
Carson's better than Paul.
A couple of youngsters. That's a 3.40 first pitch on FS Un. Okay, let's see. Fine. Give me Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. Okay, you got him. Shohei Ohtani. Guess who I'm taking? I'm taking Luis Arias.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Chris?
Who you think, Chris Mookie Betts?
I'll let Jason take a guess at who I'm taking.
You're going to take Jared Duran.
Of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Is that right?
Correct.
Sure. Whatever you say.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
Dave, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Show leader.
Shohei leader.
Yeah.
I've got this segment I've been saving for a moment since the start of the show, but I made a reference to it earlier. Bryson DeChambeau won the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Part of the news story, though, leading up was his salty balls. Bryson DeChambeau has salty balls.
Yes, he does.
And he was asked about his salty balls, and he answered a question about his salty balls.
The fans were out there listening in on the little radio pieces, and they became a fan of this thing they were calling the salty balls. But how did you come to that? How did you discover it? What led you to that?
Thanks for the salty balls question. I appreciate that. I put my golf balls in Epsom salt, but essentially
Okay. I just want to stop this real quick. Oh, okay, salt. Okay, it's golf balls in there. It's all. The next few seconds is a really interesting insight
scientist
to how much of a wackadoodle, and I mean that with love, Bryson DeChambeau really is.
float golf balls in a solution to make sure that the golf ball is not out of balance. There's a big thing back in the day where golf balls are out of balance. And it's just because of the manufacturing process, there's always going to be an error, especially when it's a sphere. You can't, and there's dimples on the edges. You can't perfectly get it in the center. So what I'm doing is finding the pretty much out of balance-ness of it, how much out of balance it is. Heavy side floats to the bottom. Heavy side floats to the bottom. And then we mark the top with a dot to make sure that it's always rolling over itself. It kind of acts like mud. So if there's too much weight on one side, you can put it 90 degrees to where the mud's on the right-hand side or the mud's on the left-hand side. I'm using mud as a reference for the weight that's over there. And it'll fly differently and fly inconsistently. Now, for most golf balls that we get, it's not really that big of a deal. I just try to be as precise as possible, and it's one more step that do to make sure my golf ball flies as straight as it possibly can fly, because I'm not that great at hitting it that straight. So
The fans.
But I am great at smashing at 340 yards.
Dork. I mean, first inclination. That sounds weird.
Yeah. Everything about him is a scientist, though. Same length clubs, all of that stuff. Everything's just.
The second part is when you hit it that far and with that much precision, every millimeter counts.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
But I'm mostly here for the amount of Freds out there. Everybody's got a Fred they play with that's going to be soaking their balls in Epsom salt now, because that's why they can't break 80. 100% Fred is going to be soaking his balls in salt. It's just like, that's why you're going to see him marking them weird. Oh, that's what Bryson does.
I mean, I literally just play golf. I mean, I just play the game. Like, when people are like, shape the shot and hit it this, like, I mean, I have my routines and my targets or whatever, and I try my best. But some of the details like this, I remember there was a video maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more, about Scheffler hitting his clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on video, and he would go, all right, he's grabbing the 3, whatever club he was grabbing. He's like, 162. And then he'd hit the ball, and then they'd measure it, and it'd be like, 163.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then he'd be right on the number.
Right.
Or within a yard or 2.
Like they know.
You just go, man.
That's what ball do you tend to play with?
Titleist.
Mm-hmm. I play with, just to your point, I play with the cheap one.
Right. Or whatever you find.
Whatever. If I play a Titleist Pro V1, there are 2 reasons why I play with it.
You found it?
I found it, or it was a gift at a tournament.
Yeah.
I have probably a box of Pro V1s, if you put it all said and done, that are in my bag right now, because I always say I'm going to save those until I'm good enough to play with them, because I just can't physically deal with losing a $3, $4, $5 ball.
Yeah.
So what I do when I need golf balls, if I don't do it in advance by going on Amazon, is I walk into the pro shop. Hey, what's your best ball deal? And then they used to have those Nike Mojos.
Mm-hmm.
You get like 100 for like $3. I feel like I'm not good enough to play with a good ball for it to make a difference.
You know what I've done, and I haven't done this consistently, but I've done it probably 5 times, maybe more. I've done it quite a bit now, so maybe just consistently. If I'm playing in a tournament, and generally, thankfully, it's free.
Right.
That's when I've gone and bought a box of Pro V1s.
Oh, just because I'm playing for free, so I'll spend that money.
The overall round. I go, you know what? Yeah.
Might as well.
I got a box of Pro V1s.
The, Hagen Oaks, here's a plug for them. But they have a thing where, like, when they find like Pro V1s, and I think there's other balls too, but they'll sell like a box of Pro Vs for like $20 that were just like found.
Yeah,
on the
probably
course.
in good condition.
Yeah, they're all you'd have to search to see a mark.
Right.
They're all pretty much new. I'm like, maybe
so I hit the tree with it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The game of golf.
By the way, our thanks to Carmichael Rotary Club and All Cal and everybody associated. Oh, it was great. We actually tied for third.
Nice.
But we gave the third place because we were, I was playing with the Eater Seals chair, and I was, conflict of interest. But it was a great time. It's a wonderful tournament. Raised a ton of money.
You must have been on your game.
So here's the thing, and I know we got a break here. I didn't shoot badly.
It was a scramble, right?
It was a scramble.
Okay.
But what was great is I had about 9 just insanely good shots the whole time. But
that's all you
I
need.
had like a couple of approaches to like 3 feet. Yeah. I nailed a super long putt.
There you go.
On 18. Oh, Jason. 18. Par 5. Ansel Hoffman. We're 216 out. I take my 3-wood. Little fade. To 4 feet.
Wow.
To 4 feet for the eagle putt.
Did they let you putt it?
Oh, hell yeah.
And
that's
you made
the rule. Nailed it. And that is why you go back.
Yeah.
Because I was dog crap the whole rest of the round.
Was 18 your last hole, or was it?
No, we started on 1.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so 18 was our last hole, and see you later, alligator. That's why you go back.
Nice.
The 1 shot.
Yeah.
The rest of it was, we'll save that for a different show. We'll take a break. When we come back, 38 years ago today, one of the more interesting NBA drafts happen, and if we have a second, I got another anniversary for you as well today. We'll get to that right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirks Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
It's Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
You. Let's go. Yeah, get busy. Anyone ever do a slowed down version of this? You know, like remake songs into ballads. I feel like this one would be prime for it. Just somebody with a good voice and an acoustic guitar. Welcome back. Final hour. Styles and Watkins joining us in about 40-ish. But 38 years ago today, Jason. It's one of the more interesting NBA drafts.
Yes.
One of my earliest childhood memories.
Yeah, the 86 draft.
Brad Daugherty, noted NASCAR commentator, went number 1 to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, nice career.
Really underrated career.
Good career.
People don't remember those Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, Mark Price era Cleveland team. You know,
Craig Elo.
Oh, they were so good. And in one of my earliest sports memories was in, I think it was 93. I was down in Arizona for a baseball thing. And my buddy Willie and I've told the story before. My buddy Willie and I went to the brand new America West Arena in Phoenix. And we scalped out some nosebleeds. And great brand new arena. And it was right before the All-Star break. And I remember that trip for 2 reasons. Number one, it was the first time we were driving we flew into LA for it's to see family. And then we rented a car and drove from LA to Phoenix. And we thought that trip was going to be a lot shorter than it actually was. And it started raining in the desert in the middle of nowhere. And it's the first time I ever heard the song Blaze of Glory by John Bon Jovi. Don't know why, just remember that. And it was so perfect, too. Secondly, the Phoenix Suns. This was my favorite non-Sacramento Kings team of all time. That's the mayor, Kevin Johnson, Richard Dumas, Charles Barkley, Dan Marley, Thunder Dan Marley, the whole thing. The intros there, just like the Bullets, used the same song, Sirius by Alan Parsons Project, did the whole thing. The Suns were, the Cavs were the best team in the East going into the All-Star break. I think this was the last game before the All-Star break. The Suns were the best team in the West with rest his soul, Paul Westphal at the helm. And the Suns were undefeated at home.
Oh, wow.
And Cleveland beat them.
Oh,
and
you were part of that game.
Yeah, I was part of that game. And Brad Daugherty is such a great player. He's good number 1.
Yes.
Len Bias, number 2 to the Boston Celtics. We'll get back to that in a second. Chuck Person, Ron Harper, John Sally, Del Curry, who ended up having a kid that did a little bit. Couple kids that did a little bit in the NBA. Scott Skiles, not yours, not mine, but our Vitas Sabonis, also had a kid that did a couple of things. And our very own Harold Presley.
Harold won the first round.
That's right. By the way, how about Cleveland getting Brad Daugherty in the first and Mark Price in the second?
Yeah, they did well.
Price is another, people forget about Mark Price's
how good he
career.
was.
Is so good. Dennis Rodman, Nate McMillan, and Jeff Hornacek also went in the second round. They had third rounders back then. The great late Drazen Petrovic went in the third, along with Jim Les, our friend. The draft was 7
rounds of picks.
They did the right thing.
Come on.
They did the right thing bringing it down to 2 rounds. That's a hell of a draft.
It is.
It's a hell of a draft.
But is that the story of the draft?
Nah.
Pick?
The story of the draft is a guy that never played an NBA game.
Yeah.
Led Bias.
And I think what's forgotten too about that draft at number 2 is Boston was the champion. They were the champions and getting the number 2 pick. And I do remember this when Len Bias was taken or was perceived to go around there. I mean, they already had Bird, Parrish, McHale, and they were going to get Len Bias. Man.
And a lot of people were saying Len Bias very easily could have gone number 1.
Yeah.
This kid out of Maryland was the truth.
In the break, I looked up because I wouldn't have remembered this. I go, how would Boston have had the number 2 pick after the championship? I guess 2 years prior, they traded Gerald Henderson and someone else, I think, to Seattle.
And got
the rights to
the rights
pick,
to the
I
number
guess.
2. I've said it before. I've told the story many times. I'll say it again because I believe it, and I know that this generation now has no idea. But there are people in our age group, Jason, that may remember this. But Len Bias is the biggest reason I never did cocaine. There are other reasons, of course.
Sure.
But the story of this kid, the tragedy of this kid, going number 2 out of Maryland, goes out, celebrates. There's a couple of, bumps, and died that night. And it was the first of a couple of tragedies to hit the Boston Celtics in a relatively short time. You may remember Reggie Lewis and what happened with him. Far different scenarios, of course, or situations. And really the first of what was kind of a trio of tragedies that hit in the middle of Hank Gathers of Loyola Marymount happened. Again, different story. But with Len Bias, when that news came out, and I was a single digits kid, and I was a huge Len Bias. I was was I into college basketball back then? I was probably into it more than the NBA, to be honest with you, even though the Kings had just shown up. And I was convinced that if you tried cocaine, you would die, instantly. Like it would kill you, or you'd get shot up by Miami Vice people. Like that was the little kid thing with me. And I've always said that there's no questioning that it's a tragedy. There's no questioning. I'd love to go back in time and tell Len not to go in there. I'd love to see what his career would be like, what his kids would be doing. I'd love to see Len Bias Jr. Entering his 8th year in the league right now, or 5th year in the league right now, and just absolutely destroying the, who knows? Or maybe he would have been great. We were talking during the break. Maybe he would have been, a draft bust. I would have liked to have found out. But I will say this: Len Bias's death saved a lot of lives. And if I know that's probably no consolation if his parents are still around, his family, but if I ever for some reason ran into him, and I would just be like, "Hey, good to see you, by the way." But if there was ever a conversation, let's say for example, I've always wanted, if Len Bias's sister wrote a book or something, she was doing a book tour, I'd want to bring her on, because one of the things I'd want to say is your brother's death saved a ton. I hope you know that. If there's any consolation, it saved a lot. It might have saved my life. I don't know. But it's funny how this generation's, I don't even know if they have a comparison, because Kobe doesn't compare. He was retired.
But the same kind of shock to the death. I was young too, and it was so. Plus, reporting and news stuff was different. Then, right? We didn't have the immediacy of social media and all that kind of stuff, but it was just hard to comprehend. I think as a kid, I don't really understand what's going on. How could he be gone? I don't get it.
Right. What happened? How, that can't be the whole story.
Right.
And I don't know. For me, 3 of my biggest memories growing up in the world of sports are probably Hank Gathers 1. I'm talking tragic memories. Hank Gathers 1, Bias 2, right behind him, and then Reggie Lewis. Because Reggie had played a career. Reggie was I believe was a multiple-time All-Star. But I wouldn't say an epidemic, but it was like every few years a player is cut down in their prime. What's going on here? For those of you who don't remember Hank Gathers, again, Hank Gathers was arguably the best player in the led the league in, led the NCAA in scoring and rebounding. I think 2 straight years at Loyola Marymount. And he in the, I think it was the WAC tournament against, I think, Portland State, and Eric Spoelstra, by the way, went up for an alley-oop dunk, dunked it, and then hit half court and collapsed and died shortly thereafter. And there were movies made about it, a TV movie, as a matter of fact. And I think I've told you this before, it didn't hurt either that my cousin played Hank Gathers, which was amazing to me. And at the same time, I was obsessed with him. And with Hank, it's like you can't learn lessons. What are you going to learn? Don't have a heart defect like that. There's no lesson to learn there. But just the tragedy. And then, again, one of the greatest stories I've ever been through in the world of sports was watching Loyola Marymount upset defending champion Michigan and continue their way all the way to, I think it was the Elite Eight, where they eventually succumbed to Duke. But just seeing Bo Kimball, his teammates, shoot every free throw left-handed and making every single one. But yeah, when you look at that draft, Jason, that was one of the strangest, best, worst drafts ever.
Yeah, and sometimes, sometimes history, we expand on things, but I mean, really, everybody thought he was going to be a tremendous player. We never really will know, but sure seemed to have the athletic ability. What was he, like 6'8", lefty? Yeah. And just, I mean, again, being
so smooth,
planted into already a championship team. Sometimes there's some bumps with that, but I feel like Bird and McHale and like that whole group just made people better. Why would he not have just fit in seamlessly?
Oh, you got to think he would have. Oh, he was just, all I remember from watching him is just how, like, this isn't an exact comparison, of course, because he's only 6'8". He's not 6'11", 6'10". But if I had to give him a comp from college, it would have been Durant at Texas. It was just he was kind of like the sniper type, just long, lanky, smooth jumper, shot over 50% from the field in that era when he was taking a lot. I mean, he got athleticism and could dunk and all that, but this was a guy that just had such a sweet offensive game. I have a hard time believing it would have translated to the pros, but we will never know, and that is unfortunate. But again, the fortunate part of that is I think a lot of kids learned lessons on the back of the Len Bias tragedy. We will take a break. When we come back, a lot of Major League Baseball news, not all of it good, and also have got a very interesting date for you as well, Jason, on this day. We'll do all that next.
Here is the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for you. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
It's the Make This the Summer event, and it's going on now at Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi, everyone. Leonard Harrington here, and I want to tell you how we make your buying experience at Lodi CDJR as easy as possible. You can come in for a visit, or you can do everything online at LodiCDJR.com. Just pick out the make and model you want and scroll through our large in-stock inventory. Next, schedule a test drive at the click of a button. If you want to finance your vehicle, you can start your paperwork online too, saving you plenty of time before you get here. And if you're looking to sell your vehicle or looking to buy, we'll give you an instant cash offer online too. At Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we make it easier than ever to put you into a new vehicle. It's what we do. Online at LodiCDJR.com or in person. We're right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
So not to get all morbid here, but just it got me thinking, Jason. We're talking about our generation and what we dealt with in just basketball alone. This generation's going to mark it with Kobe Bryant. Obviously, that's their big tragedy. And forgive me if I'm forgetting some. 1986, Len Bias drafted second and passed away on that evening. 1986, 1989. Ricky Berry took his own life, and a tragedy that still hurts a lot of us that were around for that. 1990, Hank Gathers collapses at midcourt in the tournament, passes away. 1993, Reggie Lewis passes away, the Boston Celtics. In the space of 7 years, 4 basketball players either just entering or in the prime of their lives passed away, 2 from heart conditions, one in bias from drugs, and of course, we know what happened with Ricky.
Yeah.
That's it's interesting how people get shaped by that. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, gosh, my childhood in sports, like, what is my son Mason, who's 15? What is his? Is there even a comparison to that?
It's got to be Kobe. Kobe's such a high-profile player, right? I know he was retired, but still,
Right.
that was devastating.
That's got to be it. And again, and I think everyone knows me well enough to know I'm not lightening the Kobe Bryant situation, but at least with Kobe, he had at least had some the largest portion. Well, no, his entire basketball career had been completed. I'm not trying to say that these other guys are more tragic or blah 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 blah. In some ways, it's even more tragic with Kobe because the extended amount of family he had and he had created. You could make that argument. I don't know that with Kobe you didn't have the what if factor,
right?
Although I did find myself going what if on the second part of his life.
I think we all thought he would have a pretty nice encore career in his life.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought, Jason. What I would not give. I would love to hear Kobe Bryant weigh in on the WNBA right now. Wouldn't that be an interesting take? He was such a fan of the WNBA before it was cool. How cool would it be to listen to him talking about it? There are very few voices in the world I would probably put more stock in than his when it came to the WNBA period. All right. Anyways, let's go to baseball. Injuries are the big story. The Braves, once again, we mentioned earlier, they won their championship without Ronald Acuna Jr. He is out. Spencer Strider, their stud pitcher, he is out. Mookie Betts broke his hand yesterday. He will not need surgery. That's the good news, but it's a broken hand.
Yeah. These are two high-profile teams and high-profile players. I mean, the other guys have already been out, but Betts is going to miss some time.
He's going to miss some time. And so far, the injury bug is the new injury bug has stayed away. In fact, your Yankees are getting Garrett Cole back and getting healthier. Yeah, exactly. But that kind of throws the NL to me completely wide open if Betts is going to miss. And now, look, the Dodgers, let's just be honest. The Dodgers, as you mentioned earlier, have a nice big fat lead. If Mookie Betts, let's say he's out till, what are we, June? Let's say he's out 3 months.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
They should be all right.
I think they'll be okay.
In that part. Now they need him at the end.
Right. They need him at the end, but if they're full strength, then maybe they get a nicely well-rested Mookie Betts back.
I would say, I don't know if that makes them make any other moves, but I mean, look, they've already moved him from outfield to shortstop. He's done a great job there, which that's a really tough transition. And now playing without kind of the heart and soul of that team. Yes, they still have Freeman and Shohei Ohtani, Will Smith, plenty of other guys, but that's the engine right there.
Yeah, he is the heart and soul of that team. Then you name off all the other guys, and I'm just like,
no, they're loaded.
Oh, they still have an all-star team.
Yeah, 2 former MVPs still.
The San Francisco Giants won their final game of the series yesterday. They are about 9 years behind the Dodgers.
How far back are they? 8.5, 9?
God, let me see. The Giants are 8.5 back.
Oh, 8.5.
Oh, yeah. But the Giants at 35 and 37 are tied with the Diamondbacks, just a half game back of that third wild card spot. Actually, the Padres and Nationals are tied for third. Then you got the Diamondbacks and Giants. So the Giants are technically tied for fifth. Yeah, fifth. But just a half game back.
The wild card.
And to be honest with you, they are a half game. They're a full game back of the number 2 wild card position. Look, I'm a huge fan of expanding the postseason, but we might be like, this is now getting into the NFL situation where it's like, you have like these 7 and 9, or I guess now 8 and 9 teams, 7 and 10 making it. And I'm just, listen, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but if we get some below 500 team coming in and you make the wild card, then you turn around and you beat, the number 2 team in a 3-game series, 2-game series, whatever it is, after playing 162, and that team that you just beat finished like 15 and a half games ahead of you.
Sorry.
They got to
change that.
They got to rethink that. Good morning, Steven.
Oh, wow. Good morning. How are you, man? How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm very well. To kind of like, wow, I was not expecting to get thrown on the air this quick. So My apologies.
No screening. I answered it directly.
That's how you know I got some love from you, man, and I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So like to kind of compare like something for like your son, Mason. I'm 35, so I'm way older than your son, but like to get like comparisons of like deaths, like that may have affected me, like sports deaths. Steve McNair was one of them.
Yeah.
Steve McNair really kind of hit me pretty rough because that was just an absolute tragedy. And no matter how much of a slime ball he may have been, to cause his own situation, that's a tragic ending. Sean Taylor, from the
Redskins.
Yeah, when he was murdered in his home in Florida, when he was trying to defend it because some guys broke in.
Yep.
Reggie White, I thought that was extremely tragic as well. For him to have had the career that he had, that one was kind of. I mean, obviously Kobe. We're not even gonna.
Right.
That's way too obvious to even bring up. But those ones. Sean Taylor, I definitely shed a lot of tears for Sean Taylor for sure. That was one of my favorite football players. Growing up, man, that hit that he put on the kicker in that Pro Bowl, dude, is something that lives in my head rent free. Absolutely 100%, man. That guy was an absolute just monster, taken way too soon. So, yeah, man, I wanted to call just to kind of get in on that because this is a very interesting conversation this morning, and I'm really enjoying it. So, yeah, man, you guys have yourselves a good day, man. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate the call. That's interesting. So, yeah, Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 01.
For sure.
Reggie White in 2004. Sean Taylor in 2007. By the way, God, nobody hit like Sean Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. And then McNair in 09. And I'm sure there's others in there I'm missing. But, okay, it's interesting how, and then I just naturally in my head, I'm like, well, how does that? And it's funny how the way we work, everything is like you compare everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how does that stand up against these other tragic deaths of my childhood? Were mine sadder? And then it's like, no, it's just an influence thing. That's some huge influence right there.
Well, it's back to what we've talked about before. Like, why do we have like stronger imprinted memories of a kid like that? So if you're having a tragedy like that when you're a kid, yeah, that one's going to stick with you.
Finally, since we're going back into the world, it was this day 30 years ago, Jason. We were tuning in. We'll be hearing this soon. The NBA.
This is the NBA on
NBC. Get ready
The
to watch
1994
basketball.
NBA Finals.
Yeah. Let's go. Who's playing?
Tonight, Game 5.
6:39 remaining
Houston, New York.
in this first half. Knicks.
Marvell Madrashah.
Uh-oh, what happened?
We are looking at live pictures of Interstate 5 in Los Angeles. We believe that white vehicle, which is being trailed by a phalanx of California Highway Patrol cars and helicopters, belongs to Al Cowlings, who disappeared with O.J. Simpson earlier today, shortly after Mr. Simpson was informed that he was going to be formally charged with the murder of his wife and the young man who was with her at the time. It is the latest bizarre development in a string of bizarre and shocking developments that have been going on all day long.
30 years ago today.
Wow. Could you imagine if Twitter was around today?
Oh, it would have broken it in half, and then in half after that, and then some more in half. Holy crapperoni.
The jokes would have been insane.
Oh, my goodness. By the way, Tom Brokaw.
NBC Nightly News.
NBC. Al Collins. Tom had a greatest generation. NBC News courage. 84 years old. Still with us.
Yes, he is.
Who was it? It was Dan Rather, Tom Brokaw, and
Peter Jennings.
Peter Jennings. That's right. He passed lung cancer. I think he passed a while ago.
Sam Donaldson was over there as well.
Is Sam still with us? I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Okay.
All right, before we go to break, hold on, Chris. I got it. I haven't looked yet. Sam Donaldson, with us or up in heaven with the angels? With us or not? Jason Ross.
I'm going to say with us.
Chris, relax. With us. I'm going to be the contrarian and say he is not with us. Sam Donaldson passed away. Just kidding. He didn't.
Jesus.
Wow.
90.
Don't do that.
I wanted you guys to feel like losers for a second.
No, that's not cool.
No, it's not. 90 years. Sam Donaldson. Why does he look like, is it just me? Does he look like the guy, who's the guy on Law and Order with the big eyebrows? Yeah, the guy who hit his face in the Notebook. Who's that actor? The guy,
I think it's also Sam, right?
Sam
Waterston?
Like
Sam.
He's not in the Notebook, is he?
No, not the Notebook.
Newsroom.
The Newsroom.
Okay, different movie. The song we heard earlier was from the Notebook. In the mood.
The Notebook.
Glenn Miller.
Sam Watterson.
Who is Sam still with us?
Yes.
Other Sam Waterston. Waterson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. How old is he?
How old do you think he is?
Sam Waterston. Celebrity, not birthdays. Sam is 76.
82.
Jason is the closest, 83.
Wow. So that Sam's 83. This Sam is 90. Both still happily alive.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Sam's.
Well done, guys.
Sam's Club.
What's coming up after this? You're stupid.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Catch all the action at Sky River Casino. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room. Plus, with 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations, and Sky River rewards that add up and up. There's something for everyone. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience new heights. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing. Some other offers must trade in 2010 model year or newer in 7124.
Made a great deal of Maida.
Season's Coach of the Year award. Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com. waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right. How about Ted Koppel?
Oh, yeah.
Is he with us or not?
Yeah, Teddy Ballgame. He's with us.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. 88.
Chris? Ted Koppel. Do you even know who Ted Koppel is?
Yes.
Okay.
He Nightline.
Ted Koppel, Nightline.
I'm going to say 91.
91. I looked, so I'm not. Let's see. 91. You said 88. 84.
Oh,
not that old. I mean,
yeah,
old.
Yeah,
not as old as we thought. Nightline. First thing I always think of when I think of Ted Koppel, Al Campanis, right?
Oh,
isn't that the first thing? I mean, other than Nightline. Didn't he do 20? No, that was Hugh Downs.
Yeah.
Hugh Downs not with us, right?
No.
Let's do this all day. Is that? It's
I
like
thought of Ted Koppel's hair.
He had great hair, allegedly.
Yeah.
God, I remember that Al Campanis. Talk about your all-time flameouts. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, those will remember again generationally. Al Campanis, Jimmy the Greek.
Correct.
Both massive, just flameouts. Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. Mavericks and Celtics. I am rooting for no other card chases too. Let's just have a game, please. Thank you. Jason, we broke this down quite a bit earlier, but
could there be by the way, just a random note. Mm-hmm. Could there be a car chase? Who would have to be in the car chase to interrupt present day NBA Finals?
Well, I've got one already in my pocket I don't want to say, so let's think of another one before I whip it out.
Kim Kardashian.
No.
I mean, that's on the news.
It's on the news.
It's not on the finals.
Do you think if Kim Kardashian is in a slow
they'll
speed
do breaks.
chase?
Well, then again, Channel 3 did 17 freaking break-ins during the U.S. Open for a big fire. That's a huge. So if they did that, maybe you're right.
I got one.
President Trump. That's the one I had in my back. I was saving that. Did you say that on the air?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one. If Donald Trump, well, I mean, and the reason why we don't say Biden is because like he's the president right now.
He wasn't convicted of 34 felonies.
Did you say that on the air?
Yeah.
God dang it, Chris. They're gonna send me the thing.
That would be on TV as well.
What, Biden?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here to say that if
he
either
was in a chase,
yes,
the current
if
president.
either Joe Biden or Donald Trump,
Correct.
okay, I'm willing to go with that. Why stop there? George W.
Yeah.
Clinton.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
If any of the
Past
alive presidents, because why would you have a dead president in a car chase? So if any current or former president,
that's called a procession.
Yeah, was in a cop chase. 100% cutting into the final. So, okay, presidents aside.
Okay, Al Gore. Someone who's famous.
So you're just going with the losing president?
Yes.
Oh, so Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is it okay? But is
Mitt
it for,
Romney being in a car chase would be funny. I don't think that cuts
honestly,
in the finals, though.
Okay, so here's what's funny. I think Gore or Clinton do. John Kerry, nobody really. It's like, and in other news,
it's not even on.
Right.
News.
Yeah, it's on. It's like on Jimmy Kimmel. Who would break in? Whose car?
Part of that was also there were days of the story.
Right.
So like I think it would be hard pressed tonight, like without any context.
Let's make this smart then. No presidents, no popes, none of that crap. What sports figure? Tom Brady. But you have to put it in the proper context, though. This is about a murder, right? It's got to be for. Well, I mean, I guess why else would you be in a car chase? But if Tom Brady had robbed a bank,
and was reported there was a chase,
yes, it's breaking in. It's breaking into the NBA Finals, man.
Caitlin Clark.
Ooh,
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, if he's not at the game, we've got reports. Luka has robbed a bank,
robbed a Taco Bell.
He didn't take any money. He just saw the food.
Wow.
He just rolls up with a bill. Why don't you get Doritos? And I want them now. All the mild sauce.
You've got those big Cheez-Its now. I want all of them.
Don't give me none of that. We don't serve the Mexican pizza anymore, you liars.
Lupa.
Stupid. He's playing. Okay. Ooh. Ernie Johnson. What if Ernie Johnson is in a car chase and he's suspected of committing a brutal crime tonight? Do they break into Game 5 of the NBA Finals? Or do they not because it's a competitor?
That would be a sideline reporter.
I think it's mentioned during the broadcast.
Do you? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm trying to think that through now. Like Mike Breen.
Well, those guys would know of it, right? At some point. And then do you not?
Right?
Stay away from that.
I think
without
they do
knowing,
too.
because you're working and you're like,
Right.
what's really going on? What
is happening? You want me to go on air with that?
No thanks.
Well, because there's precedent. Like, for example, you had the now famous audio of the booth conversation between Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, and whoever the hell was in whoever the hell the producer was, is whether or not they go with the John Lennon was murdered during Monday Night Football. And you hear, I think it was Frank was like, we have to say this. Like, we have to say something. Here we go. And if I remember right, I feel like it was Howard wasn't feeling it or something. Like, how do you announce the death of a Beatle during Monday Night Football?
Right.
But I feel like something like that you'd have to. Also, the Giants are at the Cubs.
They would break in.
They would break in. They'd be looking. They would break in if Jawan Jennings shoplifted a Three Musketeers bar. They would look for any reason to break into the Giants Cubs game.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time to have the NBA Finals and OJ on the loose.
I am going to spend the rest of the day thinking about which athletes and for what charge would they break into Game 5 of the NBA Finals and show split screen.
Taylor Swift? Not an athlete, but.
If Taylor Swift were being driven by her friend Marsha down I-5.
Marsha.
Because she was being formally charged with murder.
That's on TV.
It's gotta be. I mean, we don't know. It's breaking into the Taylor. We're following into. Plus, wasn't really OJ the birth of the car chase? How KTLA, like, they're always breaking into car. It's Murph's favorite thing. Your guy Murph. That's his favorite thing is a car chase.
Yes.
I think OJ was like the father of the car chase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it was done in enough time where now there's people with signs and on the freeway off ramps. And
all right, as we go to break, I want you to ponder this question.
I'm worried. You've got that look in your eye.
If technology was different and you still had helicopters and you had cameras and all of that stuff, everything was the same as it is now, TV, all that, but cars had never been invented and we were still on horses. Would they break in for a horse chase? And would a horse chase be
So
better?
we invented helicopters, but not
That's
cars?
That's correct, Chris. Shut up.
We weren't smart.
Would a horse chase be more enthralling than a car chase? Keep in mind, you spent your whole life watching car chases, so you're biased.
Yeah.
Horse can't go that fast.
I don't want to see like a horse get like
I don't either.
Toppled over.
I don't either. But I'm just saying they're jumping stuff, cruising around,
jumping stuff.
Well, yeah, the horse is going to jump over things. Oh my god!
So he's on horseback. He's not.
He's on horseback being chased by police horses, and he's got to jump through things and go in between saloons.
Wouldn't he be like riding with Al?
OJ would have been on the back of Al's horse, riding side saddle. No, they're in a stagecoach because otherwise you just shoot them off.
Right? Would they?
Well, yeah. If you're on
this
regular,
is taking a wild.
No, if Al Cowlings and OJ Simpson were riding away on a horse, being chased down the equivalent of I-5 by police horses. At some point, the police are just—it's like Indy Jones when the guy had the sword and he just pulled. Like at some point, they're just shooting the horse, right? I mean, I know it's morbid to think about, but at some point, they're just taking out the horse leg.
No, I think they have horses from another region that they get ahead of them and trap them.
Oh my God, do they lay down horse spikes? All right, we'll take a break when we come back.
You need one.
When we come back, we'll crosstalk. We'll ask Dallas and Watkins about all this. In the meantime, want to remind you, always get a second opinion. Regardless. Why are we on the air ever? Welcome in. Carmichael. And by the way, why is American Energy paying for this endorsement? You know why? Because you guys are great. Because, no matter how goofy we get, you're so darn loyal. We do appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I think they're going to have a new customer, and his name is My Dad. As a matter of fact, that is his legal name. And, he's got an HVAC issue. And you know what? He had not one, but two. He had like a competitor, big competitor's opinion. And then he had, like right around where the old people live, where in the Sun City, there's, I guess, another outfit that does everything. And they came out and did a bid. Well, guess what? Guess who's going there this week? Yeah, American Energy. And guess what? I already know they're going to have the lowest price. It's my own dad, right? When you think about it, technically, from a certain point of view, I'm paying for this HVAC system, my sister and I. I mean, it's eventually ours, right? So we got to be careful with this inheritance thing. Want to find them the best deal? Attaboy. Go to American Energy. They'll go out to your house, free second opinion. And they'll let you know, by the way, if the other place beats them, LOL, ain't happening, but they'll tell you that. It's right there in black and white. You got the other bid. They either beat them or they don't. Can't hurt you. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, make the uncomfortable comfortable. Crosstalk next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow. Sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
No? Okay. That would be a big car. Welcome back. Hey! Was it you I made the mistake with wishing your first happy Father's Day? You said it's my second. That was you, right?
That's right.
I'm well. How are you?
Great.
Yeah. How was your what was your big Father's Day highlight? Other than it's just going to be a day. Like really?
Went to Alameda County Fair.
Okay.
Enjoyed
the ACF. I enjoyed that.
Are you going to all the
racing.
county fairs in California?
I'm trying to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That
State
would
Fair's up next.
That would actually kind of be a good bit. Like if you were to know, like I've been to 176 California county fairs. I've been to them all, and then you just rate them.
That's
You're
right.
like 70 years old. You got like a big gray beard.
Yeah.
And that's your bit. Is your county fair guy.
That's right. Well, the State Fair's coming up soon.
That's right. Calaveras County Fair, frog jumping.
I remember that.
Hey, Chris, let me ask you a question. To your knowledge, do we have any fair sponsors?
Oh, that Chris.
Sorry, Chris
I'm
Watkins.
guessing we will have. I don't know. We don't have any right now.
We don't? Not right now, right?
Not right now. Right now.
I hate fairs. Oh, God.
Aren't you guys going to be at the fair?
I hate fairs.
Yeah, we're
so
going to be at
much.
the State Fair.
Honestly, hell to me is a fair. Like
Agreed.
when I die and go to hell, fair.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Already hot.
It's crowded. The lines.
It's great.
I don't mind the fair.
People just are dirty at the fair. I don't know.
100%. Like they forget all decorum.
I showered after the fair.
You're good for
Great.
you.
Yeah, one of the few.
Oh, let's go pet the goat.
Yeah.
Don't pet the bull.
Don't pet the bull. You might get almost killed by
Big
like
races.
Chris. I mean, okay, I'll give you big races.
Big races.
Hey, let me ride the ride. Is it well maintained? Oh no.
Oh, I don't ride the rides.
Dude.
No. I do the races, the food, and the carnival.
Did you see over the weekend the ride that got stuck upside down?
Sure did.
That's why I don't ride rides anymore, dude.
Was it at a fair?
Probably.
Probably.
Probably. You're just guessing.
Yeah, you can't just disparage the
Could have been
fairs.
an
Well,
amusement
they should
park.
have baby races at
I think they said that happened before with that ride too.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, like
you
that
might
wasn't
want to
the
shut
first
it
time.
down. They were like held upside down for like ever. They might
okay?
still be there. Are they? I think everyone's okay. I didn't hear anything.
And that's also interesting.
What?
Like with planes.
What
when they
about?
say, "Oh, this one's probably done." one more flight, it could have got dicey.
No, the planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a
When
plane,
a plane retires.
yeah, when
Oh.
a plane retires, is it? Ooh, that last trip we probably should have went on.
Yeah, we pushed it a little.
I
bit.
really hope they're all retiring early.
That's what you want.
That's what you would
I
hope.
want it better than
I
too
don't
late.
know how you could retire late.
Well, I can tell you a couple. Anyways, all right. Well, on that note, birthdays are
How'd
meant
you
to be-
play?
What? Oh, as I told him, well, we came in third, tied for third. It was a scramble. And as I told him, I was probably average at best, but I had like 8 or 9 just awesome shots. Like I stuck a great putt. I had a nice approach to a few feet, and then on the par 5, 18th, stuck one from 216. The only time I hit the 3-wood that wasn't disaster all day. About what I say, 5 feet, 4 feet, yeah. And that's what keeps you coming back.
Oh yeah,
but I was dog crap the rest of the time. But we had fun.
That's right.
And there was food out there and some Gatorades. And it was all good. Yeah. Anyways, birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together like crumble cookies for a Monday edition. Don't forget, everybody, we have Wednesday off.
Oh yeah.
For the holiday, we will be back Thursday, and I will be on location Friday from Palm Springs, California, where I'm sure it will be nice and balmy.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Kendrick.
Steve Balmy.
What?
Steve Balmy.
Kenny what?
Kendrick?
Perkins.
Oh, Lamar.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. We ride the bus. We ride the bus. Certified alligator, certified crocodile.
How old is Kendrick Lamar today?
I think he's like, I feel like he's in his 20s, but I actually think he's like 34.
37.
I'll say 36.
Ooh. 35 then.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Alan Stiles, 37.
Sit down. Be humble.
Happy birthday, Venus.
Dork.
Flytrap.
Williams.
There you go.
King Richard.
No, his daughter. 41.
43.
I was going to say 47.
45.
She's up there.
No
We have
way.
a tie, 44.
Oh my God.
For Venus Williams.
I got.
Happy birthday, Barry.
Bonds.
Larkin.
Sanders.
Barry Obama. Barry. Nope.
Manilow.
Barry Manilow.
Yeah, Manilow.
It's actually Barry Personal now, Jason. It's 2024. Oh, God, he's got to be old. Barry is 80. Hey, who's the guy that does all the Vegas stuff that's still alive? Willie or Wayne Newton? Who's older, Wayne Newton or Barry Manilow?
Newton.
Is he? Okay, then I'll say,
his 90s.
I'll say Barry's 84.
No.
No, too low?
85.
Oh, I see.
86.
81.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Chris Lott. 81 for Barry Manilow.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Chris Lott. You better get this. Will Forte.
Ooh.
That's your guy, MacGruber.
Will Forte, I'm going to guess, is 52 today.
50 even.
I'll say 54.
I'll say 48.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave, 54. Happy birthday, Amari.
Stoudemire.
Cooper.
How's Amari Cooper today?
Amari Cooper's 28.
No, I think he's got to be older than that. Is he 31? 31.
I'll say 30.
29.
We have a correct answer. Amari Cooper is 30.
Yeah.
Chris Watkins gets it right.
What for the
Happy birthday, Popeye.
The Sailor Man.
Jones.
Popeye Jones.
Oh, ours was better. Popeye Jones. Good looking guy. Popeye Jones is 53.
55.
I'll say 61.
51.
We have a tie between you two. 54
Wow,
for Popeye
well
Jones.
done.
And happy birthday to Emmanuel
Lewis.
Sanders.
Stewart.
Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly. Of the Knicks
Oh,
now of the Raptors.
Emmanuel. Oh, I would have gotten it.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Quickly is 26.
That feels right.
Yeah,
25.
Does that feel right?
I'll say 25 sounds right. 24.
26.
We have a correct answer. Alan Styles, 25. Right on it.
What's coming up today? Oilers, Panthers, 8-1.
Biggest choke jobs in history in honor of Rory. As far as the Kings are concerned, JaVale had some things to say about Keegan Murray and his development.
On everybody else's show but ours. What? Sorry.
And Leandro Barbosa was asked about what went wrong this season, and he had some things to say about the Kings being a little bit too comfortable. Whose fault is that?
I have a request.
Sure.
You get bored and you need to fill a segment. Can you ask what the basketball equivalent is of an 8-1 win in hockey? It's like a 40-point win? 50? 55?
8-1.
Yeah.
That might be 50.
That might be a 60, brother.
Oh, wow. Arguments coming up next. Allen Watkins, Sackdown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end